Yeah. Hello.
Hello!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello, everybody, and welcome
Hello.
back to another week of All Fun and Dice.
Episode 37, I think.
Episode
Right?
Yes.
There goes
we
somebody.
lost Rachel.
Rachel's. I could hear her upstairs. I think she literally threw. She went to put Saber down and she like hit her laptop. I think I heard like a thump.
Incredible.
She threw Saber onto the laptop.
Yeah. No more Saber, Rachel. You're muted, Rachel. Press the front of the.
I literally did nothing. I didn't touch a single thing. My
Wow.
hands were down here.
All right. I saw Saber.
It's been fine for the full hour we've been preparing, and as soon as we start streaming, it's like, bye.
Bye. See you later.
Goodbye.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Anyways, that's probably gonna happen 7 more times.
Yeah.
Just gotta make sure you were there. Gotta catch it.
Go catch it. Okay, so welcome back, episode 37, All Fun and Dice. I don't believe we have anything to go over at the top of the hour here. So we're gonna jump right into it. With the animated corpses of the dreaded Captain Blueboat's crew vanquished and burning, the Undertons investigated the roomful of urns they had uncovered during the fight. Within, they liberated ingots of gold, silver, and a variety of different gemstones, as well as finding a strange urn filled with water that Bree was entranced by. Griffin noted that it was a portal to the plane of water, and then transported herself and Bree away, leaving the party 2 members smaller. With nothing to do but move on, our party made their way down the spiral staircase, deeper into the Tower of Rest. The stairs wound further and further, passing a multitude of collapsed doorways, before finally reaching the base of the steps. Dark winds howled from beyond the grand doors standing before them, and as Eerie surveyed the new room, she found the orangutan simate Ophire sobbing over the still body of Captain Bluebolt. The Undertons wasted no time, quickly dispatching of Ophire and discovering that Bluebolt had died, opening a towering monolith in the center of the room. To the group's dismay, the winds emanating from the monolith swept into Bluebolt's corpse, animating him with the corrupt spirit of the ancient elemental king, Kiek Gao. A harrowing fight followed, with too many close encounters with death, but in the end our heroes defeated the corrupt king. We begin today's session not on the plane of air, as we have so many previously. Today, we begin at the top of a tall mountain, clouds streaming ahead, with the sun beaming down on our heroes' backs, following the Undertons' descent through a portal through the monolith. So you are all standing atop this tower. You've all fallen 40 or so feet. Gray managed to catch Lonan and Pippin as they had fallen from the sky. And as you look up, you can see the sunshine for the first time in God knows how long, as well as the orbital belt of comets and asteroids that encircle the planet that are constantly visible in the sky. It's just the 5 of you. What would you like to do? We're very tired from the fight.
I'm just like laying in the dirt, like making like a dirt angel. I'm like, we're back. We made it.
I can't believe it took this long, but I can't say it, but I've missed home.
It feels so good to be home.
Yeah. It's nice to have a sun in the sky.
The
Yeah.
sun, I forgot what that feels like, and I'm just basking in it.
Everything starts kind of like rushing through, and I start to realize, like, I start to wonder how long, like, how much time has gone by. Do you think that? How long has it been since we've seen Worthington? And
Well, definitely a long time. Do you remember when we spent that time inside that giant anglerfish god
yes,
in the plane of air? I think we might have
Oh
been
no.
in that little.
I believe you're in another plane right now, Pippin.
Pippin is experiencing some
He's just
technical
thinking really hard.
difficulties.
We'll give him a
Yeah,
second.
I love that face that he's making right now. Gray, do you think how long do you think is going on? Like, can I? You can't really tell by how long. Like, where did we reappear? Like, where we left out, or is it a completely different area?
When you guys got transported to the plane of air, you were in a dungeon, literally like a cell by the apposition. Admiral Talia had been fighting you with her large ferret Piccolo, her large hippogriff, sorry, her ferret hippogriff Piccolo in the city of Aldrassil. And you were currently standing atop a mountain. And you guys haven't really looked around yet, so I haven't described anything else.
Like looking around, do we?
1 second. We'll let Pippin finish his thought.
Sure.
I'm here.
What were you
need to
saying,
go a little
Pippin?
nap after your long journey. What were you saying, Pippin?
Sorry, yeah, my 2 hit points of health that I have left after that boss fight. I was thinking that we've probably been. It's been a long time. I don't know exactly. I'd like to meet somebody and figure out what the date is, but definitely months and months, I would say.
By the way, where are we?
I have no idea. What does it look like when I look around?
I'm
DM?
glad you asked. So as you look around, you are on top of a mountain's peak. It is very clearly high above the ground level of where you are. You can see, we'll say below and in front of you. You can see to either side there are a variety of smaller peaks that are like going out into the distance, and they like disappear on the horizon. It looks like if you look carefully, anyone who rolls perception right now
Ooh, I'll do that.
Me too.
might be able to see something interesting.
Ooh, 18.
A key?
20.
Ooh, okay. Knack,
Nice.
would you like to roll?
Yeah, doing it.
I'm imagining you're all basking and looking around at everything.
Well,
You got it out of the way. You got it out of the way.
It only gets
So,
better.
Erie and Lonan, you guys can both see that what you would expect to the one side of the mountains. You can see that it appears that you can see maybe a sliver of ocean at the tip of the horizon. So maybe there's some sort of ocean or water. You can just see blue. You're not sure exactly fully what it is. To one side is a beautiful, expansive forest that is taking up the entirety of the horizon below this mountain to the one side. It is
Do I
covered.
recognize the forest?
You can roll a nature check for me while I describe it. Actually, no, survival check for me.
Survival?
It is full of pine trees, lots of needles in their lush, dark greens. They're very classic tones, but they're also dotted. About probably 60-70% of the forest appears to be these evergreens. Well, there's smatterings and small groves of more classical birch or other types of trees as well, that are starting to yellow and brown. But it is still overwhelmingly a lush green of the forest. And
I
to the
only rolled a
opposite,
9.
a 9. You don't recognize it just from the trees. You can tell distinctively that it's not the Ondu.
Okay.
You can tell that
Yeah,
you're
that was
not
basically when I
near
was
the
like, is it my forest?
yeah. You're not on the Bujan Mountains, which you
Okay.
know are to the north of the Ondu. You're very familiar with that region. You can tell that's not where you are right now.
Okay.
But to the other side, if you look behind you, so it's in front of you this forest, left and right mountains. To the right is where it leads, and you can see the small sliver of water. And behind you is a more like savanna-like area. You can see that it is probably in the rain shadow. It's a bit more barren. It looks like a lot of tall grasses, and you can see smatterings of trees all around in that section. And so that's the area it looks like that you're around.
as a hill dwarf, with my stone cunning, do I recognize anything of significance of this hill or the mountain or the stone or anything in the outlying terrain?
I believe you only get stuff for like cut stone and worked stone. I don't know if you get anything bonus for
Yeah, I'm just
for like
stretching.
unworked stone, but you
Yeah.
can still do a roll for me. This will be a nature check because you're trying to like identify
Cool.
stone workings.
What were
If
the
anyone else would like to try to identify, let me know how you would like to look.
what were the look? So before we left, the weather. I'm assuming was it like summertime or springtime?
It
was
was
spring.
It was not even spring. The last time you guys have been on the Prime Material. Let me get to my calendar. You guys
Do you remember it
were
was
on.
spring because we were like, remember like winter hadn't gone away in that one town. We
Yeah,
were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
should be thaw by now.
So
it
it's,
was the third day of the Penzen, which is the second day of the second month of the year. It was Vials that day. And you know that later, Penzen is when summer starts as well. So
and we're in autumn right now, from what I can tell.
possibly you are unsure.
And we, okay. Well, where should we go from here? Do you think we should go find out what our tab is on? I don't even know if we can get to where we were, where Worthington was, that small town.
Where even are we? I don't recognize. I mean, these are not anything
It
that I
appears
recognize.
that
Yeah.
we are at some
before.
high altitude. The air is thin, and I appear that looks like some sort of deciduous forest down there.
Yeah.
Are we in the same continent?
I
I've
am
never
not
been here
sure.
before.
I do not recognize the mountain that we're on.
I would like to summon my mount. I'm gonna
Easily,
summon Steed.
a rift of molten darkness appears on the ground as you can see pebbles shaking at your feet without actually feeling that force yourself. As vigilance rises from the mountaintop,
Oh, there you are, good boy.
and he whips
Can
his mane around.
I'm
Could I
gonna.
summon more than one shadow steed?
Unfortunately, not. But if anybody's beat up, they can ride on vigilance. I'm gonna put my bag on them.
I have
Um,
2 hit points, so I'm gonna crawl up on vigilance.
You guys are on the top of a mountain.
Yeah, I only
He's
have
very
5
vigilant.
hit points right now. I'm pretty
Alright.
hurt.
Should we? Maybe we should rest before we travel.
Does appear to be a fairly calm day. The weather doesn't seem very intense. It's just partially cloud, like nice big billowy clouds. They only appear to be like 40 to 60 feet up, so they're not too much higher.
I'm not sure if resting here is such a great idea. We don't even know where we're at.
How far of a travel would you say it would be for us to get from where we are to like some forest cover?
To go down to the forest, Erie, I'm not even gonna make you roll for this. You are a trained explorer, and like you are very well trained in like rough survival and terrain. You would guess that it would take at least a few hours to trek all the way down the mountain. And you
Is-
guys have already kind of been up all day
Is
for
this
like a
like
very
a
long time.
snow-capped mountain?
The peaks, it doesn't look like it right now, but you can guess that it might just be because of like the weather it is right now. It like as though it's like at an altitude where it is colder. You can tell that it's not like based on the time of year, not the whole forest isn't in like it hasn't dropped all its leaves and it's not all in reds and like golds and stuff. So you can guess that it might be like in summerish. So maybe
But
it's
like
just too warm.
we're a comfortable temperature. We're not going to freeze up here. If we
You're
were...
chilly, but you're not cold.
Okay.
So yeah,
Is there a like a path downwards?
roll a perception check for me, Graham.
Oh no. Oh, wrong roll. That would just be an 11.
You do not see a trail right off the bat. You don't. It's not something that is in your immediate sight. You either guess that maybe people don't climb this mountain all the time, or it's more of a like a pure trek. There's not like a station here, you know.
Well, I mean, does anybody have any food or anything we can have before we try to find some shelter? Everyone, turn out your pockets.
While doing so, how is Fendril looking?
Fendril is just napping away still. He hasn't even really noticed. You
No.
can tell. You know he was awake a little bit before the fight, but he hasn't awakened in the past few moments.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look around for some of my rations.
I've got a dried salamander, some mushrooms, a feather from that lightning bird we fought. Um, that's about it.
I don't have any food on me.
I pull out my
Oh!
pockets.
No, I have no
expecting-
rations.
I do have some rations.
So
Not
do I.
not quite a bit, not as
Yes,
much as we had
Lonan
before.
has dried anglerfish flesh from the god
Who does?
Me.
Lonan.
Oh,
Sadly, I am out of corn.
You're out of corn.
No more corn.
Shall
if I
we?
never eat corn again, I'll be happy.
Agreed.
Shall we head into the forest to get some cover and see if we can fend for ourselves out there?
If I had to guess,
I
it would
do-
be at least a couple hours hike to get to that forest. Is everybody up for a travel like that? I know I'm pretty tired.
I'm pretty tired. I'm really hurt. I'm all out of any potions or elixirs. It might be a good idea just to camp up here for the night.
That's what I'm thinking too. Is there everyone just take a quick 5-minute walk around, see if we can find maybe like a little overcropping or somewhere where we can maybe collect some dead wood and start a fire?
Good idea.
That's a
Okay,
good
let's do that.
idea.
All right
Yeah.
then.
So Erie, as you were doing this trek, I'll give you this information now. It's probably you're guessing it's going to take, because you're not the most. You can guess that everybody isn't the most trained mountain climbers. It's probably going to take 10 hours to get down this mountain.
It's definitely a we need to take a nap first kind of situation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Where is the sun in the sky?
The sun is a little bit past its apex. You can
Okay.
estimate that it's probably around 2 o'clock in the afternoon right now.
2 o'clock. Okay. So should I roll to see if like we find anything?
Yeah, everybody who's looking
we're all looking, right?
Specifically, what are you looking for? An outcropping on the mountainside to rest under, or like, what are you looking for specifically?
Outcropping, maybe anything to create some sort of like shelter or like fire for warmth.
I'm looking for like a kind of like an area inside of the mountain, so we can like go inside of it, like a little cave or
cave?
something.
Okay. Everybody who would like to be looking for something like that can roll a perception check for me.
18.
I was gonna wanna. I was gonna
wow.
look. DM. I was gonna look for any like edible mountain vegetation, like hard rooty plants or something.
Okay, you can roll a survival check for me.
And
So
I was
maybe
gonna roll.
herbalism kit.
I was gonna look for
Um,
firewood.
You can roll survival as well, Gray. No, this wouldn't do your herbalism kit. You're looking for food. I think he froze again.
So Gray, you rolled a 2. Knack, are you looking for something?
He rolled a 15.
Yeah, I was looking for
Yeah.
shelter.
Okay, so we have an 18, a 12, and a 15. Looking around, you aren't able to find a cave per se. That doesn't seem to be like at least along the summit here. How far down are you guys willing to go in this search?
I would say I'm not willing to walk more than like 15 minutes in any direction. I'm kind of trying to keep close to the group as much as I can.
Yeah, because the top of the mountain is probably only like a couple hundred feet total, like maybe 100 feet of like circle max at its biggest. So it doesn't take you too long to even like maneuver that space. But climbing down about 15 minutes max, you aren't able to really find any caves, but you're able to find some a small like divot in the mountain where like if it would rain, it looks like it might protect you from something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
1 second. We have to wait
Um,
for.
I'm gonna go back to
Hello.
like I'm gonna assume that we agreed that we're all just gonna meet back at our starting point and see what we have found.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go back to there and see if anybody else found any firewood or anything like that.
No.
Did
And
we
so yeah,
all-
the three of you guys, maybe all at different times if you went separately, basically found the same outcropping. Maybe there
Okay.
is, yeah, at least yeah, you guys found the similar one. If not, like they maybe Lona had found another one, but it is very similar. There, it isn't like there's not much distinguishing the two. It's just one is equal to the other. Pippin rolled a 13 for his survival. You do not really manage to find much food. You think that it probably is a little bit too high of an altitude, and the oxygen level is too low for a lot of plants to survive. But you do manage to find one plant with a thick fibrous root that you were able to pull up. And it's probably about the size of two of your fists together, so it's a decent sized vegetable.
Good potato.
Gray, there aren't any trees,
Oh,
so there's no
darn.
wood.
No fire tonight.
He tried.
Did I find a cave at all, or would I manage to find a cave?
You found the same as what Erie had found. You
Right.
did not find any cave, but there was an outcropping that would block from rain or any other harsh weather.
Okay.
But it doesn't really go into the mountain. It's kind of just like it looks like there's a shelf peak that comes out and protects from the storms.
Well, Erie,
Okay,
do you
whatever.
think this looks good enough for the group?
I found a small space that I think that we might be able to stay in. There's nothing with a lot of protection, but as I was walking around, I kind of estimated how far and how long it would take us to the forest, and it would be at least 8 to 10 hours for us to get down there. So, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I think that maybe we should just rest here overnight. The day's already turning into the afternoon, so fresh start in the morning.
Yes, I agree. A good rest might do us some good at this point.
Hey guys, I found a potato.
It's more of a turnip.
We could make a stew.
Did anyone find any firewood?
There was nothing. I looked everywhere. There's no trees.
Well,
I might be able to make some firewood or something that we can burn anyway.
okay. Let's all head towards there then.
I agree.
Guys, I'm
Logan?
really hurt. I'm starting to feel dizzy.
I'm feeling faint.
Go on Gray's magic horse.
All right.
Oh, also, so Knack and Erie, you guys each found the two outcroppings. One of them is facing the forest, and one of them is facing away from the forest. Which would you like to go to?
Did you say Lonan and Erie, you mean?
No, Knack looked for it as well.
Oh, okay.
You were looking for a cave, so you were looking more specific. You saw the outcroppings, but it wasn't your main focus.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say towards the forest.
I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. I was thinking that if we were on the other side, anything that was in the forest, if there is anything, might not see us. But if you're saying it takes like 8 hours to get up to where we are, we'd have plenty of notice if they started coming. So
True.
I'm fine with whatever.
Me as well.
well, if we're
Yeah, I
going
think-
into the forest tomorrow, then we might as well stay on the one that overlooks the forest.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
Follow me.
All right.
Come on, Vigilance.
I'll climb up onto Vigilance. You're a good girl, Vigilance.
So, Gray, you have Vigilance's stat block, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You're gonna have to roll an athletics check for Vigilance.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
He goes tumbling down the mountain, and Pippin goes with him.
Oh,
It wasn't a
no.
warhorse, right?
It is Warhorse, I believe. For sure. Let me bring up the summoned steed. I
Are we
realize
climbing up like a sheer cliff face?
it's not
right
a
now?
perfectly sheer cliff face. It's a mountain. It's not like a pure like triangle, right? There's a lot of stuff. Let me just check summon.
Ooh.
I think it only has a dexterity of 1,
Ooh.
so 15.
Oh
No athletics.
That's pretty good.
Oh, strength? So 18.
no.
Oh, nice, 18. Okay, so that's pretty good. So so as you're starting to go down the mountain, you can see the vigilance even with an 18, and you can like you feel that connection to vigilance, right? You feel a big deterrence and a lot of fear, which is not something you're used to feeling for vigilance. Normally, vigilance is very calm and a soothing, comforting kind of connection with you, but you feel a lot of like sharp fear and anxiety as vigilance really slowly, like canters down the mountain, like one hoof at a time. And you're noticing that like even Knack is managing to maneuver safely to this point a lot faster than Vigilance is.
All right, come on, boy. You got this. I believe in you. I'll try to motivate him a little bit, and then if I feel it's too much, I'll unsummon him.
They will make it down there, but it will take quite a long time. And they will make it down safely with Pippin on their back.
All right, very good. Vigilance, conquer your fear.
You'll get a lot of like uncertainty when you say that.
All right. Is
Okay.
it time to rest? I need to rest.
It is probably about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Maybe approaching 4, depending. It's hard to tell. The sun has now gone. Yeah. One second. Boop, 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 boop. Sun rises in the east, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the sun is actually never mind. The sun is like in your faces now, as you look towards the forest.
Well, maybe let's just set up a little sleeping area. I'll just put like my cloak down on a rock. Like that's good.
It's
That's nice.
a pillow.
I'll
Yeah.
get my sleeping roll.
Hey,
Okay.
Pippin, do you still have my lean-to?
Yeah, it's in the bag of holding here.
Okay.
So
I'll-
the shabby old lean-to, it's been around for a while. It's pulled out of the bag and propped up. It still works. It looks like it's about to fall apart.
If only there was some food in that bag of holding. I can't even remember the last time I ate something.
Oh yeah, here
I
you go.
I found
hand
this
out rations.
turnip.
Pippin, shall we go check on Vitril? Been quite a while since we've seen him.
I honestly, Lonan, I like my ears are bleeding right now.
Perhaps
I
we can
really
go in there
just
and you can
need
rest
to-
inside the snow globe for a while, next to the fire.
Yeah, but then I'll pop out of it after the time limit goes.
True.
But feel free to go in here. I'll set the snow globe down, and then I'm gonna set my bedroll on the rock beside Eerie and like lay down all hurt.
I will contemplate going inside the snow globe, but I decide to sit next to Pippin instead and keep Pippin company.
So Knack, you hand out rations to the group. Everybody, you can get a good old-fashioned whale ration. Now, anglerfish ration. It's just very fishy. It's fishy jerky, basically.
It's good
You're
stuff.
used to eat. This is what you've been eating for the past however long, right? Like you're used to it.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you,
With-
Lonan.
Is there anything anyone would like to do, or are we going straight to watches? Which is something you guys haven't done in like
Lonan,
so
Lonan, will you
long.
tell me? Lonan, will you tell me a story as I fall asleep?
Sure. I will tell you the story about about the time that I ran away from the kingdom.
What a soothing bedtime story.
I'm ready. I'm gonna lay down on your thigh and
Didn't we
let you
live this
play with
story?
my hair.
And I start just telling him a story. I don't remember the story right now, but I tell him a story and and make up some random stuff.
I'm gonna walk
Do
away
not
from
tell him
that.
the
That's
actual
weird.
story.
No, I just make up like a bunch of random nonsense.
What name 3 random nonsense that you tell Pippin?
Let's see. As I ran away from the castle, I ran and ran and ran through a giant forest. The forest was full of trees of all kinds, and plenty of animals sparse along all the trees as well. I found myself curled up next to a nice oak tree inside the woods, as I began to realize that I was all alone. And there's where I took my first sleep of the night, and I was nestled all next to the tree, and with all of the nature around me. And I slept, and I woke up the next morning, and then like I just kind of like go into another story. I'm like, that's and then
Completely different.
it goes on and on and on and on and
I
on.
woke up and found a gingerbread house
Mhm.
off in the distance.
It's like one of those stories where like you ask your parents to tell you like one thing, and then they go on for like a 3 hours story.
Yeah,
Because I'm not tired at all. I didn't actually like really get any fighting in like when we were doing it, so I'm not tired whatsoever.
Nice. Okay,
Pippin is fast asleep.
so is
Knack,
wait,
can you make us some firewood?
Yeah, I just need a bit of gold from everybody.
How
You
much
can have
gold?
this, and I pull out the gold ingots that I found in that urn.
Oh, wow. Hang on a second. And I would like to look at one of those ingots through Bellona's heartstrings.
Yep. Okay. You can roll a investigation check with advantage to appraise this this gold. Okay, so a 19 with advantage on your roll, you are able to see that the handful of different of silver, gold, and copper that is in Erie's hand. It's a different, like a variety of different ingot sizes. Some the size of like an eye, the others the size of like rice. It's a big mix. But you can tell that
Ingots
in
are
her hand.
blocks, though.
No, ingots can be like little
You mean nuggets?
nuggets. Yes, I meant to say nuggets. My apologies. Thank you.
That
Nuggets.
might be my fault. I have ingots written down. Maybe I meant to write down nuggets. Who
No,
knows?
I might have said ingots the whole time.
A little mice-sized ingot.
You don't know.
The size of your torso.
What is this? An ingot for ants?
Okay, but you were able to identify that this small handful in Erie's hand is probably worth around with a 19 you're able to tell that it's worth 20 gold pieces.
Yeah. And then, so as I'm sitting there thinking to myself, how much gold will I need to make a reasonable pile of wood that has like nails in it or something to satisfy the metal requirement?
Yeah, you could make like a door or like a shield. Like a door would be cheaper. So I would say give me one moment.
Oh yeah, we have to figure. I guess I'm asleep. I don't know, but we have to figure out how much gold we got in total from that dungeon.
Oh yeah, we like looted all the gems and stuff too, right?
You don't get it.
Yeah.
You're asleep.
It's all in my bag of holding.
Yeah,
I loot his bag of holding.
I'm next to him, so I would see this happening.
Yeah, Lonan
I'll
will
cut you in.
protect me.
Yeah. Mac, what are
Lonan
you
will
doing with that?
Right.
We'll say it'll be 5 gold pieces to make a door.
Yeah, perfect, Gary. I think I just need like this much, and then I pull out 5 gold worth, and I
Yeah,
start
so a quarter
jumping.
of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I
and
put
then
the
I'll-
rest back in my pocket.
Oh, by
Pocket
the way,
gold.
that's worth about 15 gold left there. And then I'll channel divinity to make a door.
Okay, so over the next hour, Knack will pull these gold nuggets, these gold and other metal nuggets, and shape them into the shape of a door, and you will like see wood almost like grow and materialize in between the metal holdings. And after the hour, Knack will. What do you do with the door, Knack?
I start breaking it with my hammer.
You also you have an axe.
Yeah, but it's, I don't know. I like my hammer.
He takes out his glowing hammer and just smashes it to bits.
Wait, he made the door and then just destroyed it?
Yeah,
He
You
made
mean
it for the
lumber?
wood.
Oh, for wood. Okay.
Yeah. It's a weird thing that forge clerics can do.
Interesting.
That's so strange.
Yeah, he can forge stuff as long as it includes metal, but it doesn't have
Yeah.
to be entirely made out of metal.
Little hacky, but we'll go with it.
No, it makes sense.
that works.
Okay,
Alright, so we got a
does
fire
anyone have a
roll.
flint and steel, or how is the fire being lit?
I have provided wood.
I don't think I have a flint and steel.
I do. I'll light it,
Okay.
but not until dusk.
I could Syrian smite it too.
I have an oil flask.
With prestidigitation, can I just make fire?
You can light a fire.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, as they're like looking through all their stuff and everything, I just like put my hand over the tinder and I'm like Ksh, with my hand.
So you light it at like 4 p. Like it's like 5 o'clock now. The sun is still like it hasn't hit the horizon yet.
Okay,
You light the fire?
I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty exhausted, so I think I need to go lay down with Pippin and take a short rest at least.
Why don't we all just take a rest and let's keep your
someone
horse on
has to
alert
keep
or
watch.
something. Can your horse stay on alert, Gray? Is that something that it can do, or is it not able to do that? No, I'm not too sure.
He can watch and help, but I think I need to be awake at the same time to get his communications.
Well, I'm
Dusting
not.
at this point. Oh, sorry.
I'm not that hurt after battle, so I'm okay with staying awake. It's not, not a problem. But perhaps during nightfall, when you guys are all awake, then I will take a quick rest on top of
Yeah,
your
we'll take
horse.
turns.
Right.
It's
And
been
I
so
go and I
long.
crawl next to Pippin and I fall asleep.
Are you Big Spoon or Little Spoon?
I'm Big Spoon.
Yeah, I'm like curled up.
Yeah.
Cozy. So what is our watch order?
I'll take second. I'll take second, Lone, and wake me up in like 2 hours.
And I'll take the third.
All right. Well, I'll wake you when the time is needed.
Okay. Don't light the fire until it's dark, or maybe even after, because Gray will need it.
The fire's already lit.
I put out the fire.
How do you put out the fire?
By any means necessary.
He pees on it.
he takes all the rest of the gold, makes a door again.
how
He makes a fire blanket.
how big is the fire? Oh, okay. So actually, I guess before I do that, how long will the wood that I've made burn for?
The
It's
wood
kind
will
of
probably
fresh.
last for a few hours worth of light.
Okay, yeah, I'll put it out. Either by like stamping it out or by other means if
Okay.
necessary.
Yeah, you can manage. You're pretty fireproof, so you don't really have any issues. And then you can all lay down to rest. And Lonan, you can roll a perception check.
All right. Let's see what we got here.
Just like
Perception.
the good old days, sleeping outside.
Ooh, 21.
21. Okay, as everybody rests, Lonan, you're going to keep watch for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
And so by that time, the sun is going to be starting to dip in the sky. By the end of your your watch, nothing super interesting is happening. Over the course, you don't really see some birds fly by. No animals really approach you on the mountain. You don't really even see anything move by. You think you might be a little too high than what animals would typically come to, other than the birds. But as the sun begins to set from the you're looking, so you know what west is now. So west is where you're facing towards the forest. To the southwest, you can see as dusk is starting to hit, you can see that there's a small portion of light emanating that you can identify that might be a city or some sort of settlement that is maybe lighting their torches, lighting their street posts and their lanterns for the evening.
Cool.
So it's kind of like a
Yeah.
small little town, and I'm assuming
You
everybody.
can't see you can only see the lights from it. Like you can see the small glow across the forest, like in that one portion. You
Yeah, so
can't
you don't
see
know
any
how big it
buildings.
is.
Okay,
Yeah.
how far away is it at this point?
It's hard to tell. You can just see the lights.
Would I assume that when Erie told us that to get down the mountain, it would take about 7 to 8 hours? Would I assume that's half of that, or?
No, this is like across the forest. This is like kilometers away.
Oh, like really far away. Okay.
Yeah. But you can roll an intelligence check for me while you're contemplating the forest and these lights and with the position of it and where it is.
Intelligence. 8.
8. You get a sense that you have no idea. You don't know.
No
you get
idea.
a sense. You have a feeling.
Okay.
You don't know what the feeling is.
The feeling is a
forest-
spider crawling on my leg while I'm trying to
There's a
sleep.
forest with one larger settlement.
And
And yeah,
Okay.
that's how your watch goes.
I will take it in and I will wait for people to awake before I before I give them the information about the city.
Okay. So at the end of your watch, do you wake up Knack?
Who was like the least hurt other than myself in the fight last time?
You wouldn't know. You didn't do any medical checks.
Okay.
You just know Eerie and Pippin were the ones complaining.
Okay. Well, then, yeah, I will wake up Knack first.
Okay, so Nak, you were awakened by Lonan as the lights in the sky are dimming.
A few more minutes.
Knack, it's time to get up.
All right.
If you don't mind taking my watch, I'm gonna get some rest now.
Okay. Yeah. Good night.
So I'll go curl up next to Eerie and Pippin and go to sleep.
And I will. I'm gonna patrol slightly. I'm not just gonna stay sat right there. I'll kind of patrol, not so far as to be out of eyesight.
You can't really move too far unless are you looking to climb to patrol or
No, definitely not. So.
yeah. So the outcropping is only probably like 40 feet at the widest. It's not a very big section. If you want to move further than that, you'll have to be climbing.
Okay, then I'll just whatever.
Sorry.
No, it's
You
fine.
will-
It's fine. I mean, like I'll kind of still like pace back and forth or such, but I'm definitely not climbing.
Okay, you can roll a perception check.
Seven.
So you do eventually, as the night completely falls, it is going to be like late, like 9 or 10 by the time you relinquish your watch. The stars have come out, the sky is cleared of clouds, and you can distinctly see the one patch of lights on the horizon of the city or town off in the distance. Is there anything? Yeah, that's what you see. You don't see anything else with your perception.
Okay, I'll just let the rest of my watch time elapse, and then
Okay.
I will rouse Gray.
Okay. So Gray, you can roll a perception. Unless you know what? Yeah, roll a perception unless you want to be doing something special. Let me know something special and I'll tell you if you see anything on your watch. If not.
Can I do a perception with the help of vigilance?
Yeah, Vigilance can roll perception as well.
Oh, yes. Two separate or advantage or?
Two separate.
Okay.
Because you have to use Vigilance's stats for the other one.
Perception. Nice.
Oof.
Gray, you
For
are
vigilance?
so tired.
Is it
And
morning
you're actually
yet?
Gray.
I am gray.
You don't even have to roll for Vigilance.
Oh, I
You're already
don't?
dead.
Okay.
It was still bad.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have been able to feel this connection anyways.
natural
Because
one in
you
a
are feeling very overwhelmed. In your time on the plane of air, you only very briefly felt a connection to your goddess. Your tiredness was like a lot like less. It was lessened a lot, and you kind of haven't noticed until after waking up from this short bout of sleep you've had in between watches that you were feeling that like dread and tired and ache that is the like signature touch that you recognize is when your goddess is like looking or like trying to interact with you, and that's really is just distracting you throughout your watch.
All right. Well, I might as well just sit in the doorway. I don't think anything can squeeze past me.
Okay, so who are you waking up next?
Um. I am going to wake up Knack. I mean, sorry, Pippin.
Nak has to go back on watch.
It was Pippin. I swear.
So you shake.
How do you wake me?
I'm gonna get next to you and I'm just gonna rub your shoulder and be like, "Hey, Pippin. Hey,
I'll
Pippin.
say,
Pippin."
Lonan, is that you?
No, wrong dream.
Oh,
It's Gray.
oh, hi, Gray. What do you want?
Do you want to watch a little bit?
Yeah, all right. Here, you can take my bedroll. It's already warmed up.
Oh, thank you.
Is Tenaculum all like stuck to the covers?
Yeah, tonight, yeah,
Like
he's all
bubble gum.
Wait, is there goo all over it?
Oh my god. Does Tenaculum even have to sleep?
No, Tenaculum just
No,
chills.
he's a construct.
He's
so
not
no.
really present enough to like keep watch for anyone.
Yeah.
He's not really cognizant.
Me and Erie were using him as a pillow.
It's like a waterbed.
Yeah.
You and Larson.
Alright, I'll
for
get
the
up. I will get up and take my watch.
Okay. Are you doing anything special throughout your watch?
No, just kind of doing some walking around, looking. No climbing.
Some calisthenics.
Yeah, my morning stretches.
You can roll a perception check for me.
All right. That is a 24.
Not 20.
Not 20.
So, Pippin, you with your perception, because it's I wasn't gonna do this because if it's not because it's a nat 20, you notice the lights because it is
Okay.
around midnight when you notice this. It is very late. You notice it and it makes an impact on you, and you can definitely tell that this is like that like small towns wouldn't make this much light pollution. So
Mhm.
you know that this is some sort of city off in the distance that is making enough light for it to be a visible block.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is my watch the last watch? Is the sun starting to rise by the end of it?
No, it's midnight. You guys went to bed early.
Have I done my 8 hours of rest?
Yeah, you've had your long rest now.
All right. Well, during my watch, I'm gonna set up my alchemical supplies and brew up my elixirs for the day.
That would be probably during Erie's watch that would happen. If you wake up Erie for a watch.
No, I'm not gonna, because I'm already done my rest, right?
You've done your rest at the end of your watch.
Yeah. So then I'll just stay awake
Okay.
because I don't need to rest anymore. But yeah, I'll kind of play with my lab equipment, clean out all my test tubes and stethoscopes and stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, and I won't wake up anybody else until they wake up on their own.
Okay. Erie, how long do you want to sleep for? Because you went to bed first with Pippin. How many hours?
Once I hit 8 hours, if I'm assuming it's been that long by now, I'm
Mhm.
just gonna hopefully wake up.
By around 1 a.m., it has been 8 hours, and you can wake up naturally to the crackling of the campfire that is just burnt down to embers.
And I shuffle out. Maybe I take my little cloak that I had rolled up and I put it over top of someone.
Yeah. You notice that you were now spooning Gray when it was
Okay.
Pippin before.
I just lay it over top of Gray. And then I go out and I be like, hey, how's going so far?
Good morning. Pretty good. I think that there's a city over there. Can you see the lights?
I'm gonna look and be like, oh yeah. Do you
Yeah.
know what one it
They
is?
have started to fade because of the lateness of the night now. They look like they're probably getting turned off. Almost the majority of them now. The nightlife is probably fading.
I'm not
Do you
sure,
know?
but based on the amount of light, I'd say it's a pretty big settlement.
Hmm.
But no
Well, I
idea
mean,
who.
that's probably where we should head then, I assume.
Yeah, I guess towards civilization, we can get some information of where we are.
1 second. She was literally talking.
Oh, poor Rachel.
Poor Rachel.
There you go.
I'm
Erie,
here.
Erie, you just fell asleep.
I just blinked out for a second. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we should head. In the morning, I think, once everyone's awake.
Yeah, I think so too. We need some information of where we are and how long it's been.
I mean, how long has everyone
Um,
been sleeping for? Because if everyone gets a good night's rest, we can leave before daylight, even if we want.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Because it's gonna take us a long time to even get down off this mountain.
In the next hour, everybody would have gotten their full 8 hours of sleep. Gray, you still
Yeah.
feel tired when you wake up, but that's normal for you.
Of course. Yep.
I guess we'll have to see when they wake up, but I'm fine going now. I want to find out answers soon, and I mean, I'd rather stay in a city than on the side of a mountain. No.
Yeah. And by the time it's daylight, we won't even be off this mountain, so we might as well get a head start if we can.
Yeah, that's a good idea. All right. Well, I'm just gonna keep making some elixirs here. Do you want one for the day?
What kind?
Well, I just finished making. Here, this one heals you. I'm gonna hand you a potion vial.
Oh, I guess I should up my health back to full.
Yep, you can fully heal and have all your resources back.
But I will
No
take that healing
longer.
potion and say thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. That one has a little tangy flavor. You might enjoy it.
I look a little apprehensive. I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm trying something new.
The fish jerky.
Ew.
Yeah, I
Fish,
put the scales in there when I was brewing it up.
And there's nothing to eat still, so I'll just kind of just like walk around the perimeter, just looking around, seeing if I see anything in the forest or anything weird.
Yeah,
Do you look like a changeling right now, or do
Yes.
you? Okay.
Eerie typically, when Eerie is not
Using my abilities.
you're typically in your true form now.
Yeah, I don't revert back to what old Eri used to look like because that's weird to me now because it was all a lie.
It was a lie. This is the real you.
Lies and
This is real
slander.
me. Love me for who I am.
Live your true theory.
But I guess once it's been another little while and everyone's well rested, I would start to wake people up.
Okay, yeah. So you can like wander around on the mountaintop for a little bit, find some small bushes, find a small nest that seems to have left for the evening of some sort of night bird. That
Is there any eggs in it?
There is a single egg in it.
Can I take it?
Yes, it is quite a large egg, bigger than a chicken's, probably like 3 inches tall.
Cool. I take it.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, what's the weather like?
The weather's fairly clear. The clouds had disappeared for the night.
It's
you
nice
can
to
see
see
the
the
stars.
stars again, eh, Eerie?
It's so nice.
Yeah, and
And
the bright illuminated moon and the illuminated ring by the sun reflecting off of it as well. It's a
I
lot of
forgot what it
celestial
was like to
bodies.
sleep in darkness.
I know. I just like I've been sleeping under the ship for months.
Too long. Are we all just kind of
Too
like
long.
swaying a little bit still because we don't have our land legs yet?
Yeah. You're almost tripping sometimes just walking because you're expecting there to be some resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does everybody wake up easily?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go wake up Lonan.
Oh,
Okay,
good
so
morning.
are we descending the mountain? Or are you guys talking first?
Talk while we descend, if we can even do that.
Guys, I don't know how many of you noticed, but there's a city that way.
I
This
noticed
is no-
that. I noticed
my
that last
watch.
night. Yes. Is that where we're going to be going towards then?
I think that's the best idea.
Most sense, right? Head towards civilization.
Right. Good idea.
Is it like what time in the morning is it right now? Would you say?
It is like 2, 3 a.m.
Okay.
It's very early.
Perhaps
How's
if we're
everyone feeling?
little groggy this morning, but do we know how long? I mean, approximately, I'm assuming we wouldn't reach that town until most likely tomorrow afternoon sometime.
Say even it's gonna take us a full day of walking just to get off this mountain, and then I would say that town is probably, I don't know, what would you say, 3 days hike?
That's actually really impressive. It's actually 3 days.
Is it?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Ari knows her survival stuff without me even needing to tell her.
So I would say a full 4 days before we reach that town.
That's quite a while.
It is, yeah. Do you think that that's a wise idea to just go into another town? I guess it's better than sleeping outside here. Perhaps we can find some sort of transportation when we do get there.
I mean, I don't know if
information, too.
I don't know if there's any trails down there. I don't see anything. It looks like a pretty dense forest.
I guess I should probably
Yeah, it might
change
be a
my
good
attire.
idea.
And I'm gonna
Yeah, it might be a good idea for you to disguise
I'm in my like dinosaur onesie thing, right? So I'm gonna put myself back into like a nice suit and tie like Lonan, like the kind of like one that I had before that was kind of like shredded-ish, like on like the arms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Does it look like
it's
the
better.
forest goes all the way up to the edge of the city? From what we
It's
can
hard
tell?
to tell. You don't see the city from where you guys are. You can just see the lights. So it looks like you can just see that there's a illuminated bit of the forest where there shouldn't be. You can't tell if it like it encroaches like if it's around the city or what or not.
I
from
mean,
distance.
Lonan, you can stay in the forest once we get closer, and we can judge if it's safe for you to enter the city.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Or you could go into the snow globe.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah.
could you maybe, your spell that you can message people over long distances with?
Oh yeah.
Sending? Is there anyone on this plane that you could message to get some information?
I mean, I don't know. I could maybe message my wife, but
Like maybe find out how long it's been?
I can do that. That's probably about all I can find out. I don't know if there's anything else that maybe I should try.
I don't know. You can't really ask anyone to tell us where we are. We'll have to figure that out on our own.
Yeah.
We can figure out how long it's been. Or yeah.
Yeah, we can do that.
If Yeah, if you want. I mean, I'm sure your wife is worried sick too.
Yeah, I was gonna message her anyway. No, I just have to use some of my words for what day is it, but or something along those lines anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
Were
guess
there
I
other
have
words you
leave
wanted
out-
to say?
Yeah, I guess I can't say I love you now.
That's implied though, right?
I don't know. Do you think it's implied after we've been gone for some number of days or months or something?
I don't know.
Maybe she thought I was dead.
She might have thought you were dead. What if she's married to a new, handsomer dwarf?
Yeah, what if she's moved on?
With a bigger beard and he
Fancier
built
clothes.
fancier
Ooh.
clothes. And instead of like a beer belly, he's got like abs.
Dwarf six pack.
I'm sad.
Maybe you shouldn't send that message.
He
I'm
just
just
cries. Aw.
Single tear. I don't know. If Knack wasn't mean, he could totally rip Hip into shreds.
But I'm so nice.
Well, anyway, I know Erie was saying. I'll send the message in a second, but I know Erie was saying that it's like a full day walk to get down the mountain. I don't know. Is it gonna be difficult to do it in the dark? Like, should we just wait until the sun comes up? Because it sounds like we're basically gonna have to rest at the forest edge anyway. So,
What do you guys think?
I have night vision.
Me as well.
I can't see in the dark.
Gray doesn't have the ability. That's right.
Well, Gray, you have your light bulb I gave you.
Yes, I have the light bulb around my neck still.
You twist it and it just glows. It's like a
How
glow
long
stick.
is
You
the
crack it.
Yeah.
What
I just
what
shake
time
it a bit.
sunrise at?
The sunrise. You guys don't know what time of year it is. So you have no idea.
Yeah. Because I'm gonna say if it's only
It could
a
be
couple
like
hours
7 a.m.,
away,
but it could be like 9. It could be like a big range of like 3 hours.
well,
Mhm.
why don't we just stay up here and I'll make us a nice breakfast.
I don't.
And then when the light comes, then we can start going down. So that it's probably just going to be easier for us.
I mean,
Okay, that's fine.
that's okay. I mean, I was just gonna say the longer we stay, like we can continue to travel though, and perhaps cook along the way. I do have these rations left. It just depends
how
on
do
how.
we cook while we move?
Sorry, eat while we move. I just was thinking like it depends on how soon you guys want to get to the town. That's all.
Lonan, you would probably know that it'd be difficult to scale a mountain and eat.
Right. So I mean, it's entirely up to you guys, but I'm okay. I just don't know if you guys were looking to get to the town. I'm very concerned about getting there and perhaps them knowing me. We are inside the middle of a forest, so
Yeah.
I know, but we can't just live on the top of this mountain forever. We have to get to civilization if we're
Right.
ever gonna get back home.
Yeah, and I'd like to get on a normal sleep schedule too. Like if we leave right now, we're gonna be like really, really tired by mid morning, and then probably have to sleep or something. And it's I don't know.
Well, we're probably all jet lagged because we've been on plane of airtime for the last few months.
jet lagged.
Are we
no
concerned
night.
with Worthington at all at this point? Are we just... Because I know that I am a little bit concerned. The problem that I see as well, too, I guess, like, while we're doing this, we're just cooking up breakfast, I'm assuming?
Yeah, while
While
we're
we're talking?
talking.
Okay.
Do you offer up the egg, Erie?
Oh yeah, I pull out the egg that I had found, and I said, "We could try making this."
Yeah, here,
Oh.
make some hash browns with this potato I found.
Oh, perfect. That'll go well with all of this. And then I'm gonna cast create food and water.
All of this.
And it's like a beautiful like array.
I
It's like an
keep my
array of,
egg.
like,
I take my
rations.
egg back and I put it back in my pack. 'cause I'm like, "What?"
Yeah,
guys
I'll
have
take my
eaten-
potato too.
You guys have eaten Nax food before, and it's not bad. It's just like as all magic food is, it's just bland.
Yeah.
Like it's not like Knack is good at magic. It's just like bland food.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No spices.
What are we talking about here? What kind of food? What kind of spread do we have?
it's up to what Knack wants to break. Knack's the chef
Cucumber
here.
sandwiches.
No. It'll be like some kind of unseasoned, like cured meat. I guess it
Salamander?
doesn't have to be salted, but just salted enough to cure
And
it.
it's always like all meat is always a little bit dry when it's
Ooh.
magically
Yeah.
created.
Tell
And
me
then
what
Palatable,
flavor-
but
dry for dried meat, which is kind of something that you're not used to at all because it just seems kind of counterintuitive. But
and normally it's
it's the thing.
chewy, not dry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super weird. But the water
Is
is
it
like
like-
crisp and good. Like it's
The water's
raw
amazing.
Water, yeah.
Great.
Does,
And
does
then we
the
have some
food
cheese.
does the food look like it? Like the meat, does it not have any like fibers in it? It's like a hot dog. It's
There's
like
no
all
bones.
Yeah.
it's like a chicken wing, but when you bite into it, it's like hot dog meat because it's just magically
No,
created.
it's chicken. It's just dry chicken, but it's all the way through the same consistency of chicken. Like a chicken nugget.
Yeah.
It's like a chicken. It's like
But
blended.
it's good. I would put it's just bland. It's good.
It's
Like, you
not
guys-
corn.
Yeah. And no one is
It's not
no one
corn.
else, like, unless you're like really posh, like you are happy to see magically created food.
I give him a little round of applause.
Me too.
Yeah, so
True.
there's plenty here, so make sure you like pack your pockets full and if we're gonna try to take vigilance down, we can put all the water, like the caskets of water on vigilance.
Where did you create the water?
Where?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not,
it just goes.
it's just like it doesn't create like a jug for it.
I think it does.
No, it creates in a container. You have to like choose a container to fill.
Oh, sorry, you're right.
Mhm.
I fill everybody's water skins.
Ah, thank you. Appreciate that.
And then the excess
Like,
just
come out of
goes
your
into
finger.
their mouths, fill their lungs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
like-
quickly misread that as it shows up in containers, not you have to provide a container. But anyway.
Yeah, it's the way the spell is worded. It makes sense because then you could be like free jugs.
Yeah.
So,
but so I
Lone-
fill everybody's
Lonen,
containers.
Yes.
Yeah. It's still plenty of water. Like you don't make as much as you could, but filling everybody's water skins is plenty because you guys are drinking them all throughout the night.
cool, got it.
Yeah.
Lonen,
Hmm.
you're worried about Worthington?
Now, truth be told, I'm worried about myself, but I am worried about where Worthington is as well too. To find out exactly if he's okay, is anybody else taking care of him, who's been paying for
mean-
his.
He's a wild wolf. I'm sure he's run away from that, long gone from that city.
Yeah, we left him in Von Drassel.
Right, and we can't
And our
necessarily
horses.
We did-
To be honest, I would like a new horse.
Donkeys, you never. had
donkeys. You
horses.
mean? Sorry.
Oh,
What was
yeah,
the name again?
donkey.
Isabella
Speak for
and
yourself.
Sophie,
Delicious.
Beaker?
no, it was delicious. And what was your horse? What was your donkey's name?
Greta.
Greta.
Greta and Delicious. Yeah,
Because they renamed the other one to Delicious.
yeah. Well,
Guys
I
are the
mean,
worst.
we
Well,
can't
I'm
go.
sure after the next few days of walking, we're gonna want to buy horses.
We definitely can't go back to that city. I mean, not after the stunt that you pulled,
Well,
Pippin.
I can safely assume by looking around that we're nowhere near there right now.
No.
I'm going back. I want my dog and my donkey.
I
Dog and
Oh,
your-
and the cart.
have a feeling
Oh,
at this
yeah.
point they're gonna know exactly who we are and what we're up to. Perhaps not Knack though.
Knack, no,
Well, I
Knack.
can change my appearance to anything I want.
I can change my appearance too if you give me time.
Yeah. It's
Oh.
Once we get near the town, I can change my appearance to anything, and then walk in and see if there are maybe wanted posters, or just kind of ask around before
That's a really good idea.
if people are actually that scared of going into the town just as they are.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a really good idea.
And we have
All
lots
right,
of time on this 4-day trek to decide what I should look like.
Yeah, well, let's eat up and start the travel montage.
Yeah, and pack your backpacks too. It lasts for 24 hours, the food. It'll keep until this time tomorrow morning.
So
Everyone,
Alright.
all your
leave
food for the day.
yourselves privately as well before we leave. Did everyone go pee?
Did everyone go pee? Oh, thank you for reminding me. I would have forgotten.
I know.
I
I'm gonna go
will.
pee.
I'll send message to my wife as well.
Okay, what do you send to your wife?
Ooh, darling, I am safe and have returned. Hug Artemis for me. What is the current date? I miss you.
Oh.
You have 2 more words.
I love.
Oh,
You could have done like love ya or something.
No, he's being mean to me.
Lotsa, but just 1 word. Lotsa love. A few moments go by without you hearing any response before you hear a very much more high pitched than her voice normally is. And you can tell that there is an angry but relieved cadence to her voice as
I
she's
would
saying
like
all
to
of
picture
this.
in my head like Molly Weasley yelling in the Howler
Mhm.
at Harry Potter. Like,
How
"Where
dare you steal that car?
are you?"
The turns. Oh, Pippin dear, congratulations. But you hear Artemis. How dare you be gone for so long? Over a year.
Time skip.
Wow.
We are trapped here.
Oh no.
And then it cuts off.
Uh-oh.
Over a year.
Hey, we didn't. Did we hear this or did?
No,
It's
No,
all in
no, we
Knack's
didn't.
head. You
Yeah, we
heard
don't know this yet.
Knack, it
I'm
depends.
just eating my breakfast.
It's up to Knack. How loud did you say your original message?
Oh, not very, because it was kind of private-ish. So
Yeah, so you guys haven't heard either side of this yet.
Okay.
But you did hear the uh-oh. That was
Yeah,
was quite
uh-oh.
audible. Well, just heard from my wife.
My wife.
How is she?
Is she doing good?
She's
What
mad.
did you ask her?
She's quite upset.
Why? What'd you do?
Well, you see, I have been gone for quite some time, and I think you were gone longer than I was. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, you came in about halfway through the journey, right?
Yeah, but you were with us from the beginning.
Yeah.
What?
Anyway, spit it out.
No, I met you in the plane of air. Weren't you there before I got there?
I meant since we all met as a group.
Oh, I was
Before
talking
that.
about the plane of air. Anyway, well, okay, so I have been gone for a year.
What?
A year.
Wait,
My
you've been
God.
gone from your wife for a year, or you were gone since you last spoke to her for a year?
Since actually that's a good point, because I had sent her messages while I was on the plane of air, so I guess that's a good question. So yeah.
You'll have to ask her for more details next message.
Well, if we think about it and say last message, that's
Well,
a long
okay,
time.
so the way I worded it is, how long have I been gone for? So based on her response, can I kind of insight that at all to?
She said over. It's very vague. Over a year could be like 3 days over a year. It could be 9 months over a year. You have to remember, not 9 months. There's
I
literally
think
9 months in a year.
No, that's what I'm
he's
asking.
asking. Yeah, he's asking if it's been over a year since he last talked to her, because he's been messaging her periodically.
You wouldn't be. You only have like an angry cadence. If you were in person, I would let you insight check it. But you don't have enough. Like most of like communication is nonverbal, so you just don't have enough information to do the insight check.
Okay. What? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can maybe try to talk, like send another message later today and find out. I actually think I need to because she kind of finished it with like we're stuck or something along those lines, and then the message cut off. Excuse me.
Can you not ask her right now? Is there some sort of
I
restriction?
I'd have to cast the spell again, and I mean, I've already, I made food for us, and I did this, and it's a higher level spell, you see. So, maybe
Take some
I don't know.
time.
I'm worried, but I don't want to be without kind of. I don't know what's gonna happen going down this mountain.
Yeah,
or up
don't
all
use
the-
up all your magic in case that forest is full of dinosaurs or something.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Well,
I just
I
read
mean,
something in a book
I don't know
somewhere.
about you guys, but I'm a little bit freaking out because if we've been gone for a year, that's a very long time.
That's an
Oh my
extremely
gosh,
long
that is
time.
a long time. I have to get a hold of my dad.
I have to tell my
Holy sh-
family.
Well, I've been gone for a year.
I don't
but
have to tell
met
anybody.
You guys there, so
I don't either.
Don't worry, guys, you got us.
I mean, at this rate, the sooner we get to civilization, I guess, the better. Because
Yeah, I'm done my breakfast, so let's get started moving.
what time is it now? Hang on, let me look.
What time is it, DM?
Yeah.
What time is it? It's only been a few moments, guys. It's still like only like 3 a.m. Oh no, you guys ate, right? Yeah, it's only been a little bit because like it's like 3, 4 in the morning, so the sun is still set. It's not up
So
yet.
we'll wait till the sun comes up and then we'll start moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's another couple hours around 6:30. You can see the sun start to illuminate the sky.
Let's go.
So for the trek down, I am going to need everybody to make a series of acrobatics and athletics checks for me.
I would like to talk to Vigilance before we start.
Okay.
Yeah, something I want to do too, really quick. Well, like
Okay,
in the
so we'll
hour
do the
before we
vigilance
start.
talk, and then we'll do NAC.
All right, boy. Do you feel like you can make this journey?
Physically, vigilance will shake their head.
I'll give him a little hug, and I'll desummon him.
They'll melt away into the twilight of dawn.
All right,
Twilight is dawn.
I'm ready.
Shut up. Okay, so you're good. NAC, what did you want to do?
In the hour before we leave, I would like to make as much climbing equipment as I could.
So climbing equipment is a full pack, so you'd only be able to make 2.
I will make 2 packs of climbing equipment.
1 second, I just want to see what that does. What climbing gear does. Doop.
Well, is it based on? Is the restriction the cost or the size?
I think it's objects. Like you can make 1 object worth up to a certain gold cap, right?
Yeah, let me look it up really quick.
I'm fairly double check, but I'm fairly certain that's how it works.
how many feet down do you think we're going?
Erie can estimate with her knowledge it's going to be 3,000 feet.
Holy moly.
Well, that's what's going to take like 8 hours.
Do we have any?
Moly.
I have a question, Pippin. Looking, and I like look over. I'm like, that is a steep. Is it pretty? I'm assuming it's really steep, right? Pippin, any more of those flying potions laying around?
No, I didn't make any this morning.
Well, I was just thinking.
And they're elixirs. There's a difference. I taught you the difference.
Yes, sorry. I can't believe I forgot.
It's okay. We'll have to return to your studies of alchemy now that we're back on the real world.
2 more of those errors, and I owe you 1 silver. Wasn't that the agreement? Every time I get 3 wrong, I give you
Yeah. Well, are we just gonna? What's the plan to get down from here? Are we just gonna climb?
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried that we might, and I'm assuming I can tell how steep it is, and it might be pretty hard for us to not, trip a few times and fall down a little bit,
You actually have to scale portions of the mountain.
Yeah, I don't believe it's going to be an easy way down. I foresee some of us having some issues.
Well, there's no other way, so we have to do it.
Does anybody have
Yeah,
any?
I'll try to.
Does anybody have anything
Yes.
on them that could help us get down? Unfortunately, the rope that I have does not go more than 50 feet, and that's not going to help us with how far we need to go down.
Not really, but I'll just keep my eyes peeled and try to make sure that you're all climbing really well. And
Yeah.
if you're not, I'll be like, hey, put your foot right there.
And be careful, and if you need help, ask for help.
You know what they
Yeah.
say? Slow and steady gets down to the bottom of the mountain.
Yeah, like maybe if you're stuck at one spot or like you're having a hard time, you feel like your arms are getting shaky, we'll have Tenaculum fly over with the snow globe. You can go into the snow globe, take a little break.
Can
Come out
Tenaculum
later.
hold things?
Yeah, why not?
Can he?
I assumed he could carry an item. He's a creature.
So I can make one at a time.
Yes.
So if I
And what climbing kits, just so you know,
Mhm.
a climbing kit allows you to anchor to a spot, and then you can climb 25 feet away from that spot, but no further. So but you can't fall farther than 25 feet either.
Is
So
is
it
there
more anchors you as you rest. It would give you a benefit. I would give you a dice bonus, but it doesn't actually it wouldn't help you at every step of the climb.
So
if you know what I
what
mean.
if I made two and kind of was using it like leapfrogging almost with the party as it like anchor points, kind of. I don't know. I'll make two.
Mhm.
My intention is I'll make two of them. Is I'll spend 2 hours, use both my temple divinities.
Okay, that'll still, you can do that while you wait for sunrise.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is going to be you will need for the whole ritual. You'll need 50 gold pieces.
Okay, everybody. I'm gonna make two climbing kits. I need some gold or some metal or something though from people. It'll help us get down.
How much gold do you need?
It's about 50 total.
Do you
Jeez.
think that this is worth the investment?
Yeah, why don't we just why don't we risk it?
Is there-
our lives for 50 gold?
I
is
don't.
there anything we can do to like make something that we can just like those airships, maybe like just jump and glide off of the mountain?
That sounds like it's more expensive than 50 gold.
It would be better, faster.
Stronger?
I think we should just climb. I mean, I'm feeling pretty confident in our abilities after we survived.
I
the
was
elemental plane of
curious.
air.
Pippin,
I'm a good climber, so I'm not worried.
do you happen to have any more of those engorging potions for that you gave to Eerie that one time? Perhaps we can make Eerie extremely large and then.
To enlarge her. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. I'm always ready to turn Eerie into air.
How large was Eerie last time, from what I remember? I think it was quite large, wasn't it?
She changed from based on the general sort of sizing standards. She rose from size medium to size large.
She doubles in size and octuples in weight.
Not
Yeah.
carry 5 people.
No.
And Knack, you can't make any sort of contraption that can help us go down the hill, kind of like on wheels, so to speak.
On wheels? Oh my god, we would fly off the edge and die.
Sure,
Okay.
Lana, I can make that for you.
I think you guys are overthinking this
I
obstacle.
think we just need to climb.
I think we just need to climb down the mountain.
Well
I'm
then,
not very dexterous. I don't know if you've seen me.
I will help you. I will help you, Knack. Take my
Oh,
hand.
okay.
Take my hand.
Do
Why
I
don't we
still have
put
my
a
death
rope
ward on
around
me?
Mac, and then if
You
he
haven't
falls,
died.
at least someone
Okay.
can catch him.
why don't we have whoever is not so good go inside the snow globe?
I like that idea.
I think it's more than an hour, though.
Yeah,
Well,
you can only go in for an hour.
we
a
can pull
day.
him. I guess what I was. I guess that
Knack,
is true.
just take my hand. It's gonna be okay.
Let's get going.
I jump.
Is,
No.
Let's talk more walkie.
You
is
just-
anyone giving Mac the money for these climbing kits?
No.
I'll give him a little bit of money.
No.
I'm not gonna do
Oh,
it.
okay.
Where he's not
Okay.
gonna
Nobody's
make
giving me
them.
money, so nobody's giving me
We're
money.
just gonna
so yeah.
climb.
Okay. I am gonna need first an because right now you guys are at a point where you guys can like walk and maneuver. So I'm gonna need an athletics check to check your foot.
Can I go first? Because I want to go first and keep an eye on everybody above me.
Okay, yeah. What's our walking position? Everybody will roll at the same time, but Pippin is going first.
I will go after Pippin then, I guess, because I can try to help stabilize Knack if he starts falling. Oh my Pippin. Wow, you're falling down that
Yeah,
mountain.
I didn't say that, I didn't tell anyone to roll yet. I want to know. I need to know the walking order.
That counts.
Okay.
Yeah, it does count, but I need to know. So it's Pippin,
Me.
Lonan.
I go like fourth.
I'm gonna go last because I need people
So
to catch me.
Eerie, Gray, Knack.
Okay.
As
So
Gray,
if you
Eerie.
fall, you take us all out, Dak?
Yep.
Yep.
So as you guys made to walk
Nice.
down, everybody roll me an athletics check.
So athletics first.
Oh.
Yeah.
Athletics is
Oh.
everybody's worst.
We're
Oh my god!
we're
Dude, we're gonna die! We're gonna die!
oh no.
We have to say
my
our rolls
God.
for the
Alright.
stream.
All right.
Okay, start with Pippin.
I rolled a 4.
I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 2, which turned into a 9.
You rolled a 7, which turned into a 9.
Oh,
No,
I
2.
lied.
He has a +7.
Yeah,
to
I have a
athletics.
+7. Yeah, +7 to 9.
Oh wow. I rolled a
Yeah.
I rolled a 4, which turned into a 3.
And I'm a nat 1.
Everybody,
Dude,
every single one
uh,
of you needs to roll a dexterity saving throw to see if you
Oh, wait.
fall.
Is everybody within range of me?
Yes.
+3?
Wait. How about what's the range?
Why?
Of it? 10 feet?
10 feet around me, everywhere.
No. Pippin
Yeah.
will not be.
Oh, okay.
What about the second person and fifth?
Everybody
or-
else's. Everyone else's. It's
Okay.
just Pippin because he's out of the range.
Oh, Rip Pippin.
so
I'm being a little generous saying Lonan, but we'll give it to everyone. Knack, you roll with disadvantage.
We
Because of that
escaped the
one.
plane. We escaped the plane of air.
only to
and
fall
died
down a
falling
hill.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Eerie rolled a nat 20.
1 second, we're not done. We go in order here.
Dexterity, right?
Yeah.
Dexterity save, yeah.
Wow.
And
A 7.
everyone adds plus
3.
3
I-
except for Pippin.
Okay, seeing Lonan slipping, I am going to quickly analyze the
No,
surface
you
of the
have to
mountain.
say your roll first.
Okay, I'm using a trait to buff his, but I rolled a 20. I got a 20.
I rolled,
Okay, and
Over
now
17 plus
now
3.
you can say what you're
And
doing.
now, analyzing the mountain and the surface of the terrain with my 20 in intelligence, I'm going to use my new artificer ability called Flash of Genius. And I'm going to look at Lonan and I'm going to say, Lonan, don't put your foot right there! Put your
Alright.
foot right there.
So
And you
I
get to add 5 to your roll.
okay. So then it would be 7 plus 3 plus 5, so 15.
Okay. All right. So, everybody else say theirs. Eerie's next.
I rolled a nat 20, but
Nice.
my dexterity save is 7, so a 27 plus 3 is 30.
Jeez.
Eerie, I'm gonna give you an action after everyone, a full action
Okay.
of what you can have a full action, bonus action, reaction, because of that nat 20. In this situation, no one else gets that, but you do.
So I guess I had been starting to fall. I do like a nice little like acrobatic roll and I catch myself.
Mhm.
And then I look behind me and
You see
I
Gray.
see that Gray and Knack are like slipping.
Gray and Knack, what did you roll for yours first? I'll tell who falls.
I rolled a 2 with a +3 to a 5.
I rolled a 10 plus 3, so I got 13.
So Knack, you actually do manage. You can feel. You just like. How do you describe? Well, how does your aura come about, Gray? How is your aura affecting everyone?
Oh, everybody just feels bad.
Bad.
Yeah. They feel tired. They feel like me.
Yeah. So you have a little bit.
Like,
You have like a
thank you.
weird stoicism to you,
Yeah.
and you're able to analyze the situation a little more clearly, and you manage to catch yourself before you fully fall. You do like trip and stumble, but you catch it. Gray, on the other hand,
I'm
begins
free
to tumble.
falling.
Free.
Hey, that's
free
copyright.
falling.
So
Um,
as part of my action, then I want to shadow step and catch Gray before he hits the ground.
Okay, so so the issue with that, where are you shadow stepping to catch Gray?
I guess is the sun still rising? Because I would
The
assume
sun's
everything
rising,
would
and
be-
you guys are in full shadow actually because of the way
Yeah.
the sun rises.
So yeah, I would just be like, just whoop, shoop, and then I like heroically catch him.
So I'm gonna need a athletics check in
Oh, but
order
I just did
to
so bad on
you.
that.
I know, but to see if you can like how much it affects it. 10 is
Oh,
enough. It wasn't gonna be super challenging. 10 was enough. So you managed to grab on. You like disappear into the shadows and appear behind Gray, grabbing the collar of his breastplate and heave him up as Knack like climbs down beside you.
nice.
And
And then
everybody's
I set you
frozen
nicely
here.
on your feet, and I'll be like, be careful now.
I'll try my best. I'm hugging the wall with everything I got.
Okay, guys, new plan. New plan. Let's all go in the snow globe, and Eerie, you shadow step us to the bottom of the mountain. You have an hour.
So
I
my
can try.
my original plan then.
Eerie, come here. Come close. I'm afraid to climb down. Come over here. It's shadow
I can
step up
only
here
go
for a
as
second.
long as we're in shadow and the sun is rising. So
It
Well,
has
we're in the
been
shadow of the mountain, right?
it has been about 2.5 to 3 hours. It is now approximately 9 a.m.
Oh,
by your estimates.
the sun is up.
Is there a shadow from the mountain though?
There's still
but
a
I
shadow
can
from
only
the
go
mountain,
60 feet.
but
Yeah, but you
Pippin,
can repeat it.
You would know that the shadows will disappear in 3 hours.
Okay, Eerie, come here. Quick.
Okay.
Okay, take this, and I'm gonna pour a potion into your mouth. And I'm casting Long Strider on you, so you get 10 plus movement.
Ooh, so
Ooh,
70.
long strider. That's cool.
So I'm gonna give you a Monster Energy drink in a potion bottle. Okay,
It's a
here.
disgusting green.
And then I'm gonna hand you the snow globe, and then I'm gonna touch the snow globe and disappear into it.
Just whoop, vitriol your way in. Does everybody follow Pippin's
Yes.
stride?
Heck yes.
Gray?
Yes.
Okay, so Eerie, you were alone holding a snow globe on the mountainside.
And I'm just shaking a little bit, and I'm like, all right then, I guess I don't have a choice in this. And I
Okay.
put it in my like sack or my backpack, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, don't mess up. And I start shadow stepping down the mountain, I guess.
Okay. So I'm gonna have you roll an acrobatics check to see how your footing is at the beginning. We're gonna do 3 skill checks for Eerie to see how far if you can make it
Okay.
down.
My first roll is a 17.
17 for acrobatics. You are deftly jumping, gliding, and running, disappearing in and out of the shadows, appearing on your tiptoes just to jump off and appear somewhere else, jittery and buzzing.
Okay,
Feeling
as
alive.
I do this, can I be like muttering angrily to myself? Be like,
Yes.
of course, Eerie always has to save the day. Eerie has to carry the whole team. Everyone just goes and takes a nap, and here I am risking my neck. Like I'm just.
So this is the first 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, you are moving at a much faster pace because you were able to, like, you're not really climbing. You're kind of just jumping around and running.
Yeah.
But after a while, you reach a point where it does, like, sheer drop down, and you can see that it does this for quite a while. So how we are going to do, it's a mini skill challenge, but it's just you doing it. How are you going to get over this obstacle? It's a very, like, almost sheer 90-degree drop for quite a while here,
how
beyond
far
60
does the
feet.
drop look? How many feet?
You can tell that it's longer than 60 feet. You can roll an intelligence check for free. That's outside of the skill challenge to see
Intelligence? Oh yeah.
Yeah, just pure
No,
intelligence.
Huh?
Yeah, just click the intelligence.
Under my saving throws?
No, just on the left side.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Oh.
You are having a hard time. You've never actually studied anything in school, You've never went
Yeah.
to school, so your math is a little weak.
Yeah.
But you would guess it's over 120 feet.
Oh my god.
So it's a couple shadow steps down.
Is there
even
shadow
if
at
you
the
could-
bottom though?
There is.
And can I see it?
You can only jump 60 feet.
But I can see the shadow at the bottom.
You can
with my
see
eye.
the bottom. You can see all the way to the ground. You can tell it's over 120 feet down.
Okay.
Jump.
I'm gonna jump. And then about
Okay.
halfway down, I'm gonna try and shadow step to the bottom.
I'm gonna have you roll a Constitution saving throw, just to see if you have the wit, if you have the Constitution in order to,
I rolled a
do
16.
it in order to stay cognizant enough to make the fall and do this with
That's
timing.
such a does she that's an interesting question. Like if she shadow steps, does she maintain the momentum that she was moving at? Like if she shadow steps and then goes to the ground, well she's gonna hit the ground like she jumped 20 feet?
Physics is different here. Okay?
No.
If you can survive direct hits by fire breath from a dragon, you can jump off a cliff. Okay?
I
Alright,
rolled a
alright,
16 for my constitution.
You are perfectly fine. You steel yourself. You are ready. The adrenaline and the monster energy drink is rushing through your veins as you jump. And right as soon as you hit 60 feet, you melt away and appear on your back on the ground.
Ooh, nice.
Keep going.
So there's still more of the mountain, and you know that.
How am I feeling? Am I tired or am I okay?
How long does the long strider last?
Long strider lasts for 1 hour.
1 hour. So you're still feeling jittery.
Okay, I keep
going.
going then.
Okay. So you are back to running and climbing. So you can roll an athletics or acrobatics check. It's up to you. But I will let you know, acrobatics will be at a higher difficulty. DC.
Sorry, say it again.
It'll be harder to accomplish the acrobatics one, just because you've already done an acrobatics check.
My athletics is -2 though, so I'm gonna roll acrobatics.
Okay. Fair.
Oof.
Okay.
I only rolled a
So
10.
you do manage to not trip. You are doing okay on your way down the mountain. But we're going to do a little bit of a jump flashback. We have the boys, the four of you, appear in the snow globe, feet sinking into the snow, as you see Vitriol standing out front of the cabin. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Vitriol.
Good morning, V.
How is everyone today?
We've returned to our home plane.
Oh, that's good. It's been a while.
That has
You
been,
can show
yes.
me more of the world now?
Yes, of course. Does anyone have anything to show them?
Oh, yeah, I got nothing.
No. I visual. However, I don't know if you would mind meeting my my new companion Fendril here. And is Fendril sleeping?
Yes, Fendril is still sleeping.
And I'm gonna just show Fendril the Vitriol.
Oh wow. What happened to the egg? Did you replace the egg with this?
The egg got replaced by this wyvern that you see here.
Oh, I liked the egg. Hello, wyvern.
No, the wyvern, the egg became the wyvern.
Yes, it grew up and the egg grew up to be the wyvern, and now.
Speaking of which, did you notice that Fendril's always sleeping? Is this okay? Is it okay? Are you feeding him enough?
I believe so. I made sure to I made sure to feed him this morning some more jerky that I managed to keep.
Fendril is awake, but he's he awakens to eat at certain times, but he's not awake for very long. At this point, he's only awake for a few hours, and he's you can tell that he's been doing this for a while as he's rapidly growing.
You know what they say, you need your rest to grow.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to startle him too much. I don't think he understands the area that he's in right now, so it might not be the wisest idea to keep him awake, especially during traversing this mountain.
Yeah, hopefully Erie doesn't drop us.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I wonder how it's going.
Can we tell if she's tumbling and stuff by how the snow is lifting? Is there anti-gravity?
The snow globe doesn't really get affected like that too much on the outside.
So it's not like that.
It's a weird situation.
Okay.
But you guys do notice that after it's about an hour, you guys can feel that you are losing, except for Pippin. Everyone is losing their grip on the snow globe, and you feel like you're being tugged out.
Outside of it. Okay. Vitril, I think it's time to say goodbye. I think it's almost that moment.
Well, it was nice seeing you all.
We'll see you soon
Good
enough, Vitril.
conversation.
You guys.
Bye, Vitril.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Are you staying, Pippin?
No, I'm gonna go in case they need my help.
Of course.
Sorry.
Have fun.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. And you guys
Right.
will appear.
That's risky because I could be literally like mid-flight and you guys could just fly out.
That's exactly what happens because no one gave any warning. So everyone can roll, except for Eerie, dexterity saving throw
Oh, here we go.
as they are ejected from the snow
Y'all
globe.
should have waited till I told you it was good.
I rolled.
+3, remember.
I rolled 21. That was you. Wait, what? Oh, you rolled for
that
me.
was
All right. I rolled 14. Do we do +3 at all
for me.
because of that
Yes,
thing?
You
I
rolled
got
a
an
+3.
18.
17.
24.
11.
Oof.
Knack is not made for this sort of stuff.
No, he's
You
just tumbling
guys-
down.
Except for Pippin. Pippin, you managed to land fairly well on your feet, luckily. You all land, and you do not fall off the mountain or any cliffs, but you are going to be taking 2 damage of bludgeoning damage as you're like going like so fast. Erie's like teleporting and jumping around. And as you guys tumble and hit the ground, you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage,
Each of us?
except for Pippin.
Hey Erie, we're right here. Hold on.
I'm assuming I would have already shadow stepped out of wherever they landed.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you are starting to feel tired. You feel tired now. The jitteriness is gone.
Yeah, the long strider wore off at almost the exact same time because it's an hour as well.
But hold on, I have another question. They were inside my backpack.
Yeah, they like ejected out of the backpack, like
Okay.
out of the top.
Oh.
She was saying in the middle of saying something. Poor Rachel.
Go on.
I'm here. I would have noticed that then. I'm just like exploding out.
Yes, you did notice.
Yeah.
Okay, so once I notice, I'll stop shadow stepping and turn around and be like, "What are you doing?"
We ran out of
And then I'll
time.
shadow step
Globe.
back to wherever they are. I'd be like, "You guys could have killed yourselves. Are you stupid?"
It's okay. Everyone's okay.
And I'm panting heavily, just like looking crazy.
Yeah.
How far down are we now at this point?
You guys have, with the added Erie travel time, you guys have been traveling for about 4 hours now. You aren't too far from the base. You guys are very close to the treetops. Are still you're still like quite a far away above the treetops, but you are much closer. You can start. You can
Is it
actually
like-
see the treetops a lot more clearly now.
Is
So
the
if we were to
slope
walk the rest of the
or-
way down, how long would you estimate it would take?
Roll a survival check for me. Anyone who would like to guess.
Did we get +3 on everything? Ooh.
No.
Ooh, nice.
Everybody but Pippin and Lonan, because they were 13 and 14. Gray, Erie, and Knack with 20, 24, and 25. You guys, the 3 of you, all would estimate with the skills, with either being a dwarf or being an explorer or just whatever. You guys estimate that's probably only about an hour and a half to the ground if you go at your normal pace.
Nice.
And it is now about 10 in the morning ish, by estimates.
Well, perhaps this time, instead of risking it, we should take it a little bit slower. It just doesn't seem too much longer till we get down there, does it?
Yeah. Well, I think we got past all the big peaks and drop-offs.
Appreciate
I'm
that.
sorry, we. You
Sorry,
think we
Erie
are
did
past all
that
the
for
peaks?
us. Thank you,
Good,
Erie.
Thank
Appreciate
you, Erie. You're appreciated.
Mhm.
God, what
And
is wrong with this one?
Gray with a nat 20, because it's a nat 20, I will give Gray this information. You would think that if you take it slower and took an extra hour, you could do it a lot more safely without worry.
I think we should do it real slow. I think we can increase our survival rate if we just took maybe
that.
another hour or so.
Let's do that.
I like it.
Yeah. One step at a time, boys.
Can I have some water, perhaps, from someone?
Here, take some of mine.
And I chug that shit.
Chug
Thank
that
Try
you.
that shit.
Chug that shit.
Yeah, don't backwash, please.
I spit a little bit back. No, I'm just kidding. I don't.
shit.
I drink it and I give it back.
All right.
Okay. So do you guys
so
take
we'll
the
take it slow
Okay. So you
to the
guys
base.
have a calm, tiring climb. Your muscles are very sore by the end of this. Especially Eerie, your legs are a little like because by the end of the climb, you actually have to climb because the sun is at its zenith.
Mhm.
So you guys make it finally hitting where the trees are higher than your heads before reaching the base of the mountain.
All right.
Nice.
And that is where we will take our break for the evening.
Break time.
Great night. We made it to the bottom of a hill.
Yeah.
Yay! And nobody died. That's
Nope.
good.
Adventure.
Almost
Sure.
did, but
Almost free fall from the top.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was almost real bad.
And who saved you? Me.
Thank
Every time it's
you.
eerie. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for hanging out so far. We'll be back in about 10 minutes here. Yeah, excited to see you. Excited to have it back, and don't forget to
Stick around.
stick around.
Alright.
Stick around.
this, dude.
Welcome back, everybody, from the intermission of All Fun and Dice, episode 37.
Hello.
Back home. I was like, what's the name of it again?
What's the name of this Twitch account?
Yeah. Who knows? It'll be a mystery forever. But last, in the first half of the stream, everybody got home. We had some conversations, contact with some past loved ones. Found out that there is some troubling news on the horizon. Mac's wife is trapped somewhere, and they've been gone for over a year. Who knows? We just made it to the base of the mountain, and we are now approaching the forest. Is there anything specific you guys would like to do? It is just about noon. The sun is at its very peak overhead, and the shadows have all but disappeared, except for looking into the canopy, where it is creating almost a perfect, beautiful molted darkness.
I'm gonna walk over by Lonan and say, "Hey, Lonan,
Yes.
if you notice Knack, do you think Knack's okay? Like, I mean, he hasn't seen his wife in a year, and she's trapped somewhere.
Yeah,
Has he been acting strange to you this morning? Should we talk to him?"
I'm quite concerned that he'd never mentioned her before, and
I knew about his wife.
I didn't really know much about her.
I'm not in this conversation.
I didn't seem to know much about her.
He doesn't talk much about her, to be honest. I think he has a kid too.
Is he not?
I don't know.
So my question about this is that he seems to not be so worried, from what I can tell. Maybe he's just keeping it all in. I'm not too sure. I haven't been too
Yeah.
close with him.
I think he's keeping it all in. It's hard to tell, but I don't know. Like, we're close now. Should we talk to him? Should we be like, "Hey, it's okay if you're like, you can tell us how you feel. Like, your wife might be in danger."
I mean,
You know?
I'm okay with. I think now that we've kind of become one large family at this point, I think it's safe to say that we should be helping each other out. Only problem is at this point is, do we go for helping his wife, or going to find out if our goods are still in the cart with Worthington?
Well, we'll have to see. We might be like on the other side of the world. Like, we might be pretty far from either of those things. We don't know yet. But uh,
You
good
s-
to know.
you seem to
I'll
know
talk.
him. You seem to know him a little bit more than I do. But I would like to start to get to know Knack a little bit more as well too, just because I seem to be a little bit
Well,
distant from him.
well, if you want to go talk to him about his wife, I guess this is the time.
But perhaps
I'm
I,
gonna talk. I'm gonna talk to Erie and Gray behind Knack's back first, and then maybe we can talk.
I'll go and talk to Knack, and then you go and talk to the other two, and that way it'll keep him kind of distracted. I'll talk a little louder so he
I'll
can't
pull
hear
them.
you
I'll
speak.
pull them away. I'll pull them away. Hey, Erie and Gray, could I see you over here behind this rock?
Okay.
Oh,
I
Knack.
guess. You don't gotta yell.
Yeah.
Well, so how does it feel to be back home? I guess at this point. I mean, we got a lot of traveling to do. Might be nice to get to know each other a little bit more. I've been kind of distant from you ever since, appearing in the plane of air.
Oh, I mean, I don't think I wasn't like trying to be distant or anything. It's just it was a lot, you know.
No, of
Like,
course, I
stressful,
understand.
like, the whole time, like, you know, there was never really any like calm, comforting time there. Anyway, I don't know. Like, I mean, at first I think I felt relieved, but now I feel kind of a bit stressed and anxious.
Right, because of your family, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Are they in any sort of danger that you know of?
Well, I don't know. Like, that's what I was saying earlier. When I spoke to my wife, um, she the message kind of cut off, you know, as they do. But she kind of just said that she's trapped or they're trapped. I don't know. I need to get clarification tonight.
When you say they, you're referring to your wife and...
Oh, my son. I mean, I think that, I don't know. Maybe I need more clarification.
Okay then. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, if they are in any sort of danger, you know that we're there to help you. You know this, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to hear it said. So, thanks.
Right. I don't want you to feel... I know that there's been times during our adventures where we've been apart from each other, and we've kind of came and went a few times, but know that we are there for you, so you can always be there to speak to us about any problems you might have along the way, of course.
Oh, okay. Well, I really appreciate that, Lonan. You know, nobody's really reached out or said anything before. I mean, I know a bit about Pippin, maybe more than a bit, but that's maybe some weird stuff about Gray too.
Yes, Gray is such an odd fellow. I mean, and I look behind myself like just to make sure that I don't speak very loud.
Yeah, he's like cold. You get that when he like uses some of his magics on you, that it kind of just feels like cold and like depressing and kind of weird.
I've always wondered if he actually is sleeping or not. I don't know if that's just... Perhaps he just always looks tired and worn out. Is that just you? Maybe maybe I'm just thinking too much. I'm not too sure.
I kind of wonder if he's like even alive sometimes. I mean,
And
like, you know, he's like alive, but like, you know, like animated or something. I don't know, like possessed. Like,
also,
he's just, like, gray.
his hygiene doesn't seem to be very well either. I don't know if that's just...
No, and I don't ever bathe, so that's saying a lot.
Right. Well, I mean, it's nice to get to know you a little bit more there, Knack. If it's not too much trouble, what is your wife's name again?
I mean, I guess like in the common tongue, she would go by Lily.
Lily. Oh, what a nice name. Well, I hope that we are able to find your family for you and make sure that they're okay. And as I mentioned before, I'm always here for you if you need anything.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well,
And I don't know if I owe you anything for making. You were asking for some money for a few things. Perhaps when we arrive at the town, we can take a look at our wares that we found and go through the gems and the gold and add them up. And perhaps if you need to make anything, I don't know about the rest of the group, but I was thinking, perhaps while we travel, would it be so much to ask you to make another cart just in case we're able to get another horse? I'm not too sure if that's something that maybe we could have Gray's steed. Ride for us.
I mean that's a good idea, but it's not really that strong. I mean, I could maybe make like parts of a cart at a time, like a wheel or something. So it would take like days. I mean, it might just be easier for us to buy one or something. I don't know.
Okay then.
But I mean, that's always available. Like if I needed to make like a wheel or something, I could do that. You know, like if we found one at a discount because it only had 3 or 4 wheels or something.
Right. Understandable.
But anyway, yeah, if I have the opportunity to, I'm going to try to talk to Lily again later. I just didn't want to do it earlier in case, you know, I had to save somebody or something.
Right.
So, Erie, do you think Lonan likes me or he likes me?
Well, I don't know if he likes you, but likes you.
What does that mean?
Oh yeah, forget that you're a lot younger than us.
What do you mean like?
Right.
I don't think he hates you. You
Yeah,
guys seem to
common
be
is
friends.
Erie's second language.
What do you think, Gray? Because sometimes I get weird vibes, and I don't know if it's just me.
You know, I think there's a connection between you two.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Do you think I
sometimes
should wait
wonder.
and see what happens, or should I try to push it?
Even me being as tired as I am all the time, I kind of feel like there's a spark.
Yeah.
I sometimes
Yeah.
wonder if Lonan likes anyone because he always seems to be so concerned that we're gonna backstab him at any second.
You know, I just think
True.
he's got a tough exterior, but on the inside, he's a big softy. You just got to get to know him.
Yeah.
Why have we stopped to talk about this? Shouldn't we be walking down the mountain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Let's
What's
see.
going on here?
Hey, I'm gonna look over. Lonan, are you done?
And then behind me, I'm gonna give like the behind the heads like thumbs up.
All right, and we'll walk out nonchalantly. All right, down the
Oh,
mountain.
that's weird.
You guys are already down the mountain.
We're already down the
Oh,
mountain. Yeah,
it's-
we
it's
that's why we're
more-
talking so casually.
You guys just all climbed behind a ridge in order to have this secret conversation. No, you would better rock. Okay, so you guys can enter the forest. I'm gonna have one of you guys. You guys can have this conversation in character if you'd like, or you can just decide now who is going to be our tracker. Who is leading the group through the woods on your approximate 3-day journey, as Yuri had estimated earlier.
Not me. Who's got the best survival?
Or-
Probably.
Mine's
It's probably Knack.
Yeah, or Gray.
Yeah,
No,
I,
it's-
I have a very low survival.
yeah. I mean, I've lived quite like a separate, excluded life for quite some time, so I'm pretty good at finding my way around kind of forests and other such things.
Then is it Erie?
I mean,
What's your
I can
survival?
tell north from south, but I've never been in this type of woods before. I grew up in the jungle. But if you trust me to navigate us, I guess I can
Well-
do that.
I have read several books on deciduous forests. I could probably try.
Well, can't we all just work together to yeah,
I was thinking it might be a good idea to have those that don't need to do anything of importance, and I've kind of had a little bit of an idea. I was speaking to Knack briefly. obviously we're not going to be having our cart back. Do you guys remember our cart with all of our stuff inside of it that we left at the town?
I remember.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, Gray, I'm not too sure about your horse and what entails if it can come and go whenever it pleases, but it might be wise for us to perhaps get another contraption where we can sit in the back of, rest while we travel. Knack brought
Yeah.
up the idea about
But-
potentially buying one at the nearest town. I was thinking maybe
First we gotta get there.
right, but we're going to be traveling quite far, and we know that it's going to be a few days.
But
fa-
what would we use to pull a cart? We don't have anything.
His steed, I just mentioned that.
I mean,
Oh, that's a good
he's
idea.
gonna be able to pull like a cart, I guess, but we should really focus on getting another animal, one
And
that's more
also, we
suited
can-
for that.
No,
we
but
can
yeah,
only
at least
pull
for
a
now,
cart-
though.
We can only pull a cart through this dense forest if there's a trail, and I don't see one.
And if he pulls a cart, I'm sure nobody's gonna be sitting in the cart.
Why?
That's a lot of weight to pull.
He's a horse.
Yeah, is it a different type of horse than a normal horse?
We had 2 donkeys that are a little bit kind of like better suited
well,
for that.
Guys, let's focus on one obstacle at a time. Let's get through this forest.
So
Yeah,
who's
we can't.
leading?
We
We
can't
get to the
carry
town.
Perhaps
And
feed
we-
your horse a little bit. Make it stronger.
Yeah, feed it some of that corn.
You're talking about a normal horse
be-
pulling a cart of
okay.
6 people?
Okay, to be
No.
fair, Gray, your horse did really struggle climbing the mountain with me last night.
Yeah, he's kind of
And also,
decrepit.
this is a dense forest full of trees and roots with no path to pull a cart through.
All right, here. I made a decision. I will lead us through the forest.
No, I will.
No,
Okay.
I will.
Okay.
No, you will.
So who is leading?
Not me.
Knack.
I will.
Knack. Okay, so Knack.
And then
For
I will
our
go
first-
behind Knack.
Okay. You guys
Okay.
are actually free to do you can do something small. If you want to do something in the forest while Knack is leading, you can do something small. So Knack,
I'm
you
just
can
gonna be looking for food. I
that's
guess.
what I was thinking for you. You don't even need to roll. You are an outlander. You
Yeah.
are in a environment where food is plentiful. You will be able to find a lot of different roots and foods and everything along the way.
So you said a lot of different foods. I didn't catch after that.
Yeah, you're gonna be able to find a lot of different roots and game if you want to dart something down from a tree. You can decide a small a meal enough for your group for the evening along the walk without a roll. But Knack, you are gonna roll your survival check first. Oh, is that what you rolled already? No. that
Dang.
was a different
Oh,
one.
well.
Oh, still basically the
Oh
same.
my
Still really
gosh,
good.
Wow.
A beautiful 22 for Knack. So Knack, you were effortlessly, you know the direction of where the lights you saw were, and through the mountain's descent, you were able to keep a fairly good grasp on your just your location. So you are very confidently leading through the forest right now. Eerie is darting back and forth out in and out of the woods. Her pack more full every single time she comes out. Would anyone else like to do something small?
I would like to find potion ingredients.
You can roll a survival check for that.
I would
Can
like
I
to
use
be vigilant.
herbalism?
Yep, you can use herbalism kit for advantage.
I rolled advantage. Okay.
Can
And
I?
it's plus 10, whatever I roll.
I'm going to
Oops.
tie a small little bit of rope around Fendral's leg, and I'm going to try practicing letting him kind of fly a little bit.
Yeah, for the majority of the walk now, he woke up about half an hour into the walk in the forest. And so he is now gliding above you, almost like a small kite.
I want to try teaching Fendral as much as I can of flying and then knowing a call, like a word or something of having him come back to me.
Okay, so we're gonna do that once for the whole trip,
Mhm.
because it's a bit too big of a situation to do than what we're doing right now.
Sure.
What is happening? In
Sorry,
right now?
I was struggling figuring it out. I rolled a natural 20 plus my tool expertise is a 30.
So you, Pippin Gilligan Faust,
That's me.
something catches your eye as you are walking out of the forest. It is towards. It is a bit towards the edge. More off to the side. You actually have to run over as everybody's entering the forest in order to get this. But you see a familiar-looking herb that you have seen once before. It's an unassuming bush, but when you pull it up, the roots are very vibrant red. And you can easily identify this. You see 3 plants of this shape. This is Lydia's filament.
Ooh.
Ooh. Guys, I think we're in Kadarth somewhere. I'm gonna pluck all 3.
So you can add 3 potions worth of Lydia's filament to your inventory.
I'm gonna sell this shit.
And so that's all you get.
What makes
now, with
what
the
makes you
30.
believe that we're in Kaderth?
This plant.
What
This
plant?
is Lydia's filament. Right here.
I remember that for some reason. Did that make us wake up when we were asleep or something? I don't remember.
Allow me to remind you, in this flashback sequence, when we fought the Ice Queen and she put us to sleep, Lydia's filament made a potion that was able to wake us up.
I knew that. I knew it. Yeah, I remember your
it
potions
was
quite
over
well.
A year ago now. You know what? You've been paying good attention. I'm impressed.
So Pippin, you remember where Lydia's filament was found. Lydia's filament is only found at the base of the mountains on the Isle of Gardenia.
Oh my goodness. You're right. Guys, I know exactly where we are. We are on the Isle of Gardenia, the base of the mountains.
Wait, what does that mean?
Lone and Blue Band.
Really?
Lonan, oh my god, Lonan.
The Isle of Gardenia, home to a single city known as New Dahlia, was your home for many years until a fated night
Oh.
in which the Merchant King was killed and you were forced to flee.
Uh-oh,
Hmm.
spaghetti.
And it all comes back to you. The forest's
Thanks.
familiarity, the mountains in the distance. You're home.
And
you guys are walking
as
towards.
So while this goes, so I hear Pippin say Gardenia, and as he does, I'm like looking at a tree, and on it is like carvings, like I brush aside like a little bit of leaves, and on there is like a carving of my initials on the tree, and I'm just like, oh shit, like we are home, we literally are home. And so I'm going to change
How convenient it
Hey,
is.
I don't know. It's part of the story, yo. And so I'm going
It says
to.
Lonan with a heart around
Yeah.
it. But it's just Lonan.
There's
Yeah.
no one else's name.
Yeah, and I'm
Well,
going
that's
to
the
immediately
part,
change
the
my
rest
outfit
of the-
into something that is kind of like more camouflagey as I try to drift into try to like be one
A
with it.
4 days hike from the city on this specific tree.
Hey, it's cutscene.
Lonan. Yeah. All right. Guys, we're on Gardenia. We're on an island.
Just as my worst fears became to, seems as if it couldn't get any worse than it already has. I don't think that we need to approach any further closer to the city.
Well, we got to get off this island, right?
I assume there's a port at that city that we can
Ha-
use to
Our
sail.
Kadirthi citizens,
Keep-
Knack, you can roll a history check to know what you know about Gardenia.
First of all, keep everyone's voice down. I don't need to raise any more attention over
We're
here.
4 days
We're like
outside the
4
city.
days
Roland.
out just from the city.
So I will give Lonan the information he knows, and I will give Knack the information he knows with that 13. Lonan, you know that the Isle of Gardenia is home to one city and one town. Old Dahlia and New Dahlia. Old Dahlia was one of the first settlements when people landed. It's a very historic site, but no one lives there anymore. It's one of the first places the people from the refugees from the river princedoms landed when they came to Kadarth, 300-ish years ago. New Dahlia is the current is a city that is owned by the Merchant King. So when the Merchant Kings rotate out, the previous move out and the new one moves in. It is basically like an honorific, almost like the summer palace for real life monarchies in like Britain and in Russia. It is like a summer home. It is very ornamental. You know, this woods that you are in is the Royal Hunting Woods. So things are released in here, whether they be, depending on the king, animals, monsters, people, who knows, are released into these woods for hunting purposes. So there aren't anyone living here to your guys' knowledge. Lonan, you do know that there are like scattered like huts that people have, like if they're higher ranking or if they are like smugglers. Some people have huts hidden in the woods for those purposes. And yeah, that's what you guys know about the Allegardini.
Do I know how
There's
often the
no
hunts are happening?
You know how often they were happening under Elia, but you do not know the new King Luther's schedule or his preferences.
Was this the old capital?
It wasn't the old. It was never like a true capital. It was used as like a. It's kind of been like it was raised as a, almost like it's more ornamental and like it's more showy. It's like this is our island. This is the Bonds family island, basically.
So we're on like a resort island for the rich
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And this is where Lonan killed the Merchant King?
Yes.
Oh,
In New Dahlia, where you guys are walking towards.
good to know.
I can tell you exactly. I'm remembering the woods. It's the hunting grounds. It's where they would release wild boars and different things, and attempt to run after them and play for sport. I don't know if it's wise for us to be traveling through these woods. I can tell you that right now.
Where
What's
else
the
could
other
we
option?
possibly go?
I
It's
don't
an
know.
island, you said.
I think our best course of action is to get into the city and then get a boat out of here as soon as we can.
I can.
I say we do the same plan as what we had before. I disguise myself. You guys go in the snow globe. I get through the city and try and catch a boat.
I think that that's perfectly sane and
And until
sensible.
then, we quietly move through this forest and hope that there is no hunters or whatever you said coming through here. Because I really don't see any other option. We can't live in the mountains forever.
Well, I mean, the only one that needs to hide apparently is Lonan, right?
I mean,
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hang on. No, so now that we're here, I didn't ever find this out, but like, did you do it, Lonan?
do what exactly?
Kill the king?
And then I'm going to like think back and you know when I told the story previously that I don't remember such things.
He doesn't remember, but we don't know exactly. Somebody used when we were in Von Drassel, a cleric cast a zone of truth around Lonan to compel him to honesty, and Lonan was not able to say that he didn't kill the Merchant King. So we think he probably did kill the Merchant King, but the current theory that I have is that he was compelled by some sort of magic or something.
Yes.
So the answer is yeah, he probably killed the Merchant King, but it's a sensitive topic for him. We're trying to get to the bottom of it.
Last I remember, it was all such a blur when it happened.
Does that kind of ring any bells with me, DM? Like any kind of compelling based spells or anything that I might know or have heard of?
You can roll a history check for me. You do not know any magics that would compel someone in this way. Um, you know that you know possible mind magics that might rewrite memories, but in your knowledge of that, they wouldn't like. People can lie if their memories are rewritten because it's their memory. So you don't know of magic that does this kind of effect.
So I can assume then that it wasn't a memory rewrite, excuse me, because he'd be able to.
Not that you know of.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, because I can use that same spell, and I do know that the way questions are asked can sometimes matter too, like the line of questioning. Pippin, are you confident that the question was asked as best it could be?
I mean, yeah, Gray, you cast the Zone of Truth again, didn't you? Didn't we test it out?
We did try it out. I mean, I could do it again right now. We can question it however we want.
Right.
Lonan, would you be comfortable with that?
I mean, I don't know how long I want to sit here inside the forest and just talk and contemplate things. And I've already told you this story multiple times. Do we really need to do it again?
Yeah.
Well, maybe if we ask it in a certain way, it can shed new light on information.
Yeah, my hope would be that maybe something like this could help prove your innocence, but we have to get.
Do we want to wait to do this when we're in a more safe environment?
We're
We
almost.
can travel until we camp, I guess, tonight.
I almost feel like when we meet somebody, it might get unsafe.
How are we going to prove to a town that believes nothing but my guilt? I don't. You don't understand how hard it's going to be to convince them.
Maybe
I don't think we're planning on convincing them. I think we're planning on sneaking out of here with Erie's shape-shifting abilities.
Well, I think. Well, Lonan, would you want to prove your innocence if
I've
in fact you are
attempted to.
innocent?
I've attempted to multiple people on my way out of town, and I've had to convince them to let me leave in exchange for certain things. And I can tell you that it's not going to be easy.
You know what we need? We need hard evidence. I think this was an inside job. I think somebody wanted to become the next king. I think we need to get to the bottom of this. Justice must get served.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I think if it were me, I would want to prove my innocence. I wouldn't just want to run away from my problems.
I'm okay with proving my innocence, but I'm saying that sitting here inside of this, inside of the hunting grounds forest is not the best option. At any moment,
So, Lonan, what is it that you want us to do then?
I think if we can find one of the abandoned huts that might be around here, we can possibly.
But we have to keep moving. We can't just stay in a hut.
There's abandoned huts?
Yes, plenty of hunting huts around here inside the
But if
forest.
they're hunting, wouldn't you think they would be using those huts and that would be more dangerous? Should we not stay as far away from their waypoints as we can?
I can tell you at this point, I don't know specifically where any of these things are. I mean, they're sporadic and they change momentarily. At any moment, we can be in the middle of a hunt and not even know about it.
Well, then
I think our best course of action is to get to New Dahlia.
Hmm. I agree.
We could disguise you, or I think it'll be safer and easier to blend in, and then get a ship off this island.
I agree.
I agree as well.
Well, it's understandable.
Are you okay with that? Are you okay with this plan?
I don't think that we need to be making a fire whatsoever. So if there's any sort of food right now, we need to be continuing on I mean, without rest, most likely, or at least minimal rest.
Well, we can't walk for 4 days without rest.
I understand
We'll have
that.
to stop and rest, but we can try to maintain cover. Nak can create food for us, and I can make an alarm perimeter. We'll do our best.
I know that you guys, it was only about an hour's worth of time for you, or at least maybe it felt like that, but I was for 4 hours doing.
Yeah.
Like I'm quite tired already, so I will need to rest before the rest of you do.
Yeah, well, let's spend the next 4 days making our way through the forest cautiously, but not overexerting ourselves.
Well, I gotta do some stuff over the next 4 days.
What do you have to do?
You know, I'll talk to my wife and stuff like that.
That's fine. You can do that.
Okay, that's thanks for allowing that.
Can you keep us fed though?
Maybe it depends
Good
on
meal for us.
the conversations that I'm having.
Well, okay, if you have to choose between eating or talking to your wife, what are you gonna choose?
Talking. I have rations for myself still.
I'm
Okay, what about
okay.
the rest of us?
I'm okay, Nak, if you wish to do one of your spells.
Well, why don't we, when we rest tonight, I'm gonna try to reach out again, and we'll go from there.
All right, well, let's keep moving. Dun, dun, dun.
So, are you guys? Where are you moving to?
Towards the city.
In the forest?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys move through the forest. We will maintain Nack's beautiful 22 for the survival roll. What time of night do you guys want to move till? You've already been moving for quite a while. You've been traveling for, I would say, what time did you start? You started about 6. It is now about a little past noon. So you guys have been traveling for 6 hours already. So if you travel for more than 2 hours in the woods, you will start getting exhausted.
And I'm already a little bit more
The
tired.
2 hours is for you. Everybody else can go 3.
Okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I don't need a long rest, but I would need at least to take a short rest.
Mhm.
I will stop unless otherwise directed before the point of exhaustion for the day.
Okay.
I will reluctantly stop with the group.
So you guys will move.
Erie,
Yes.
can you
I'm swaying a little.
that pass without a trace key ability that you've used before as we travel?
Sure, but I need to lay down for a bit.
Okay, well, maybe tomorrow.
And as soon as we start moving again, I can. But I don't know, but I'm so tired. There was a lot of work getting you guys safely down that mountain.
All right, here, take a seat. Here, have some of my water.
And I drink, and I take out the food that I've collected on the way, and I'll just lay it kind of around and be like, "Help
What did you
yourselves."
collect?
So.
What did you want to collect?
Oh,
Anything special?
I put
fun?
like
A few
some
hamburgers.
fruits. Like I don't know what kind of fruits are growing on the trees here, but maybe like apples or.
It's late. It's based on the time of year that you assume it is. There would be like you can see that there are like some plums and some like jack apples.
And then I was gonna say
And
like a couple little squirrels.
yeah, hands down, a
Yum.
juicy, plump little squirrel.
No.
Juicy, plump little squirrel.
That did it.
Yeah, and it's enough food to feed all of you guys if Erie is willing to share. Oh, I can't
Great.
hear you for some reason.
We will we'll eat and rest up.
Don't forget the food that I made earlier only lasts for 24 hours, so
Yeah, I'll eat Nack's magic food first,
I'll drink Nax water.
because that water's gonna poof away.
Glug,
Yeah,
glug,
it's
glug.
evaporating. I feel it.
All right.
Okay. Are you guys so you guys rest after you move your full 8 hours. So the way travel does work is you guys will incur a risk of exhaustion. You guys can move. I'll let you guys, because of the short rest, I'll let you guys move 1 extra hour in the day. So you'll be able to move until about 4. But if you go to like anything past that, you will incur the risk.
No,
of
I think we're
exhaustion.
not. I don't think we're trying to exhaust ourselves.
no, we're going until the point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Like
So
right
you guys
before.
get to 4. You guys get about half a day's journey into the woods is about what you get.
Okay.
So it's 4
Yeah, I
o'clock.
guess
You
we're
guys
just gonna continue that the next day.
okay?
Before we continue that though, so on day 1, I will send another message to my
Okay.
wife.
Okay. Send the message.
A year since we last talked, or I left. Where are you trapped? Is Artemis with you? We're coming. All my love.
Okay. So this one, because of the time of day, it's almost like instant. Right away, you hear back in your head, Artemis, we're together. Hinlock has been surrounded. It's been months. Stores are running low. No contact. A year since you left. And that's all you get.
Lonan.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I guess everybody else can hear this too because we're all kind of like, I don't know, stood in a circle.
I'm gonna
and
assume
paused.
I'm sleeping now, so
Well, it's only 4. You can decide if you want to go to bed early.
You're like
or stay up and just
resting.
relax.
yeah, I'm kind of just like half dozing against a tree.
So I reached out to Lily again. I'm getting more concerned, and I'm trying not to freak out because I don't have all the. It's kind of hard to see with only like 25 words, but anyway, she said that her and my son are together, but that Hemlock is surrounded, and that they've had no.
What's the capital?
Yeah, I know they've had no supplies coming in, so kind of places are closing, and I mean I don't know. You can.
Is your family from Hinlock?
Yes.
Sorry, I'm not very familiar with Hinlock.
Hinlock is the capital of Kadarth right now. It's because the capital moves every time there's a new merchant king. It's the current capital. It's surrounded. Is it a city under siege? Is that what it sounded like?
Yeah, good question. Let me try to infer.
All right.
You can't insight check a message, sending message.
Well, would I have any not insight necessarily, but any kind of more in-depth
I
understanding?
can't. You have to fully make these decisions on your own.
Oh,
To be
okay,
fair.
okay.
Yeah, I cannot give
Cool,
anything
cool,
extra.
Based from what you heard.
Well, I mean, is it in siege? I don't understand what else would be surrounding it that would kind of be that concerning.
Yeah,
To stop
an
trading,
army.
but
Maybe in the year we've been gone, there's been an invasion.
maybe yeah, it might not be an army that we were familiar with. She did also say that it's been a year since I left, so you know a lot can happen.
Over a year, right?
Well, yeah,
Over a year.
I guess it could be almost 2 years, but
Yeah.
And do you have any reason to believe that why people would want to invade this city?
yeah. Let me think.
Can I get my map of Kadartho?
Oh, why, Pippin? Yes, you can. And if everyone is directed towards roll 20,
You want me to switch over there?
Change to the
yeah, you
combat
can throw it
map.
up. You
Whilst
can
we're doing
see-
that, is there any reason that I could think of that anybody would have surrounded it or like wanted to lay siege to Hinlock?
Roll the history check.
That was a 3, everybody.
You have no knowledge of
Okay.
any there's not wars in Kadarth. There's no unless there was like a secret coup, you have no idea what it could be.
So we are near New Dahlia, which is that island to the
Yeah,
north.
you guys are actually up here off the map right now,
Mm-hmm.
because I have another map, but it's not as finished. So I'm not.
Can
gonna
you
throw it
see
out
my
there.
drawing on the
Yep.
map?
Yep.
And this is Hinlock over here.
Yeah. So if anyone
So we're
wants any
pretty
questions
far.
on what things are, because it's been a while since we've been in Kadarth on the Prime.
So we're like coming out of that forest towards New Dahlia.
Yeah, you guys will be coming out around this area here,
Okay.
ish. That's where you'll be coming out.
Huh.
Oop, that's
And where was the city that we disappeared from?
Von Drassel all the way over here.
That
Okay.
was over here.
Yeah. You guys basically took a roundabout route through the plane of air on the trade vessel to get all the way up here,
Cool.
all the way up top. And you guys started all the way down here at this crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
You guys had just passed Kern, which is right there.
So we've never been
Well-
to the capital.
Hinlock, Pippin, actually, you didn't because you circumvented cities. But obviously Knack is from Hinlock. Pippin passed through Hinlock on his travels. But no one else had. I met up with that, but no one else had.
All right.
Well, okay, so I think if we get to hopefully Erie, when we get to New Dahlia, you can get some more information from the people in the city about what's going on on the mainland, and then maybe we can take a boat from New Dahlia across the Florinus Straits to Lundvort.
I think that maybe because maybe Lonan, you can help me out with this. I've never been to this city. I don't know what kind of people or anyone who lives here or what to say or do. Like, who should I look like? What should I say to people? Where should I go? Because I don't want to just make mistakes as soon as I get in the city.
Right. I don't know.
And keep in mind, I can only make myself look like someone I have seen before.
Oh,
Thinking back, who would be like what would be like a
like
good
fancy
a good
boy.
commoner to like look like, I guess, in this area?
You could look like a Marigold.
Like Marigold, the old lady.
The old lady.
The old lady from the rabbit farm.
Yeah.
Or that we helped her kill her rabbits on episode 1 of All Fun and
No,
Dice.
that would be.
Which you can find on YouTube.com.
She was pretty known in this part.
That's a throwback.
In these parts, she
In
was
these
from a
parts.
small town.
She was from a small
Okay,
town on
that's
the other
so
side of the
weird.
country.
She was famous. She's famous
from all the way down here.
for her rabbit stew.
No.
I mean, I honestly, Erie, you can, if you'd like. I mean, there's quite a few people that you can transform into. I'm still confused on how exactly that works, but
I have to have seen them. I can't just make it up in my mind. It has to be someone I've met and know what they look like. So, like, if you said, "Oh, make yourself look like this," and I've never seen that person before, I can't do it.
perhaps Marigold, perhaps maybe one of the many.
You make yourself look like Bree.
That's always an option as well
Was she
too.
a criminal?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if I would trust anything that Bree was very secure with what.
Sketch.
Right. Unfamiliar exactly with what nobody really knows. I think Knack, you knew Bree more than anybody.
I mean, I pretty much met her like the day that we showed up on the plane of air. So
I just don't think I don't want to present as anyone who someone might recognize.
what about Willowa?
Wasn't she a famous captain?
Yeah, people might wonder why I'm looking for a ship and where mine went.
Yeah, and they might ask why you're not blue.
Well, I would change my
You
appearance.
make
Oh.
yourself blue.
True.
Could you turn into that blonde woman that you turned into
Oh,
when she was in a coma?
just turn into a Loxo gif.
I don't think they're from this.
No, those are not from this
Do not.
world.
I don't think that's such a great idea.
I would stand out a lot.
Let's.
Why
I
don't
think.
you just
I'd stand
make
out a
yourself
lot.
look-
So gift.
I think
think
Marigold is the best
overthinking
option.
Marigold is the best option.
And please just try to stay a little bit out of sight. I mean, not for
Well,
any.
I mean, I can't stay out of sight if I'm looking for information and trying to find a ship. But I guess what is my story?
I mean,
Yeah, you
okay,
need a cover.
Let's improvise. I'll pretend to be a town guard.
Okay.
Uh,
Hang on.
Okay, okay.
Why do we need a story if like you're just purchasing travel?
Well, where would I have come from? Why am I on the island?
Yeah, an old woman walks out of the forest. Nobody knows her. Okay, ready?
Well-
Here, I'm gonna take a like a potion vial and dump it on my head. I'm casting disguise self to make myself look like a town guard.
An opposition member.
You there? What? What's your business in New Dahlia?
It'll shake my nerves. I am just going to take a trip to the mainland. Could you
Uh,
please point me in the direction of the port?
Sure, take my arm so you don't fall.
Oh, so strong.
Thank you. I lift.
I don't know if
Alright, I
that's.
think. Do you
What do
think
you
that'll
think,
work?
Ronan? How does that?
I can say that I don't believe that the god would be such easy on you. However, I mean, it's practice while we continue to travel through, and
We'll try that every day on our trip to the city until we get there, and by the time we get there, you'll be perfect.
Ronan, if once we get to the edge of the forest, how long of a walk is it from the forest to the ports?
how long do I know that?
It is about. It is like there's like some plains and scattered smaller, like less dense forest in between. So it's quite a while. It's like a few hours from the
But
city to
like,
the
I mean,
forest's edge.
I guess I mean like once I get into the city and once everyone is inside of the snow globe, how much time do I have? Because they can only be in for an hour, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
How much time do I have to get
It
like
would
enough time?
It's not a huge city because of its like nature. It's kind of like again it's like a bougie resort castle. Um, so it would probably only take about like a little bit less than an hour to get across. Maybe like an hour at the very most of something.
I guess what I'm saying, uh, group is be prepared for the idea that yes, I may be able to get myself across the city and to the port in 1 hour, but I still have to negotiate our access to a ship. And if your time runs out, what do we do in the middle of the city if you just appear?
Well, what if you leave us outside of the city, go in, secure a boat, come and get us in the snow globe, and then get on the boat?
How do
Well,
I let you know if something happens and maybe I'm taken prisoner or hurt?
I think our best bet at this point is to just keep myself concealed and go as a group.
But my other idea was, aren't we in trouble for what we did in the city we left? What if there were also wanted?
Maybe they forgot about us. It's been over maybe a year, maybe more too. Who knows?
I can tell you this: in New
Maybe
Dahlia, most likely they're not going to be looking for you. I mean, there's going to be plenty of signs still looking for myself. However,
they might be looking for us, though. We were
you,
part of like a huge conflict in Von Drassel over a year
I
ago,
mean, I'd say the
involving the most wanted man in the kingdom.
yeah, and if this is where if we were last seen with you and this is where you're most wanted, I don't know. I don't trust it. I say I think we stick to the original plan. Maybe I just go in and you're right. I'll just have to
I
come
think
back and
so.
get you.
I think
And
well,
so.
if you don't see me within 3 hours of my departure, then I don't know. Send
Nat
someone
can
after
send
me.
you a message.
well, I can also go in with Harry too, right? Like, there's nothing.
I could too. I can disguise myself like the town guard that I'm still.
why don't you disguise all of us then? At that point,
I can only disguise myself,
you only have enough potion for one.
just for
Hmm.
me.
Well, hang on now. So a couple of things. First, DM, do I
Yes.
think this whole, from what I know, is there a need for this whole kind of like backstory to travel, or is it just enough to say I want passage and and good to go?
What'd you roll? You didn't roll too high on your New Dahlia one before.
I think it was like a
Um,
13 or something like that.
you just know you've never been to New Dahlia. You just what you know about New Dahlia is that it is a like palace home. That it's not the true capital, but you know that the merchant king and their family spends a lot of time there, comparatively to like anywhere else. And you know that it is very like the people who live in New Dahlia live there to serve the merchant king. Like they're brought directly in to provide a service, and they live there to provide that service.
Okay. Right. Uh, Pippin, can I see the snow globe for a few minutes?
Yeah, here you go.
Okay. I would like to cast Identify on the snow globe.
Okay.
We already know what it can do. I could have just
What do
told
you
you.
want to know? What do you want to know?
Everything word for word.
I don't have it in front of me.
Let me read it to you because I have it in front of me. Vitriol snow globe, wondrous item, attunement. You wasted a spell slot. Pippin knew this. This magic snow globe contains a single log cabin and a snowy grove and fir trees within it. A creature may speak the command word vitriol and magically shrink down and teleport inside the snow globe if they are touching it. A maximum of 5 creatures can be within the snow globe at a time. An attuned creature can spend up to 12 hours within the snow globe a day before teleporting out. Unattuned creatures can only spend up to 1 hour in the snow globe. Speaking the command word also teleports you out of the globe if you're within it.
Ah, yes. This is interesting. It seems that if you're attuned to this item, you can spend, like, if you really concentrate on it, you can spend more time in it, right?
Yeah.
Well, if our biggest concern is Lonin, why don't we have Lonin do that so he can stay in for longer?
But then I would have to break my attunement.
And also, that doesn't help us because we're worried that the rest of us are also wanted in the city, so I'm not sure it's safe for anyone.
Well, I think that Lonin is the biggest concern. I'm not a worry, you're not a worry, and Pippin's not a worry, so it would just be Gray who, well, maybe
me.
concerning. But you said you can
Change my
change
shit.
your
Change what I look like.
Yeah, disguise yourself. That's what I mean. Like, Lonin doesn't really have a way to do that, and from what he said, from what we know, you know, he's probably the biggest target. So I think if anybody needs to stay out of sight, it's him.
I agree.
I'd rather have
That's a good idea.
I would
Gray
have to
bounce out
disagree.
every
I
hour.
think that we all need to stay out of sight.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
but I think his point is that we all might be wanted. We know for sure that Lonin is wanted.
But
Mm.
there is
So,
a way that we can have everyone hidden without risking anyone, except for me, I suppose, in a different form.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, if we stick to the original plan, then no one has to hopefully be at risk, and we just.
And you can completely change what you look like, and it's not an illusion like when I do it. When you do it, you physically change.
Mm-hmm. And there's no time limit on that for me.
Well, okay. I mean, I guess I'm just concerned that, like, people pop out again, especially Lonin. I mean, I think that at the very least he should attune to it, so that if that does happen, it happens to everybody but him, because that would be
Okay, I can agree to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll go to the first original plan, but Lonin, you will be attuned to Vitriol Snow Globe just in case.
All right.
Okay.
And I'm not going to go in at all whenever it comes to that.
Why not?
I don't need to.
Why not? You were captured the same as we were.
No,
No, he wasn't.
No, I wasn't.
No, he
there.
wasn't with
he
us.
wasn't with us.
Oh,
He was MIA,
Yeah,
out on a
so-
ship somewhere.
you're
Yeah,
right.
I was off with Willowa at the time. Or
Willowa.
no, I wasn't.
Well, then perhaps you can escort me through the city.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, I think might just be a bit risky if just you went by yourself and there was no
Mhm.
way to
Okay,
contact
that
anybody else.
sounds good.
Oh, too bad you haven't seen Knack's wife. You could have become his wife, and then you could have been a nice little couple coming out of the woods.
I will maybe see. I've not seen any other dwarves in person. Otherwise, I would
You've seen dwarves.
do that. I have.
Yeah, at the beginning of the campaign. You saw there's some dwarfs. Let me open my stuff. I can remind you of a dwarf you've seen.
Any hot lady dwarves?
No, maybe you haven't seen dwarves. Dwarves aren't super common. Did you see any dwarves in Von Drassel?
I didn't think I had, but maybe I have.
Knack, do you have any pictures of your wife?
I don't think cameras are a thing.
No, perhaps like a drawing or something is what I was referring to.
I just
Your
look like
wallet?
I look like a pencil drawing.
Yeah, you saw.
You look like
There
the
you go.
little SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah, I believe you saw a dwarf couple at the Sea of Stars.
Oh, okay. So then, what if you think? Okay, so I'll think back to that and I'll try and picture her in my head. and I'll try and turn into the female one right now.
A beautiful big blonde pigtails and an equally big blonde handlebar mustache. As
Okay.
this like, and you're like you're like an inch or two short of the knack now. Big burly, you feel like heavy.
What do you think, Knack?
Wow.
And her clothes are super baggy
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you dropped like a foot and a half.
Well, you're no
Do you like
Lily,
how she
but
looks? Does that make your beard itch?
no. We gotta get some better clothing on you, but I mean,
Do you
I think
you
I
can-
think it'll do.
Okay. And then I
Okay,
turn back into myself because I feel weird about how baggy my clothes are. Maybe you
Well,
can make me some thing to wear.
Just ask Lonan to wear his changing outfit, and you can change it into whatever you want.
I would hold against that at this moment, just in case.
I gave you the snow globe. We can
Why
swap.
can't I borrow the outfit?
Yeah.
I'm saving your butt right now.
Yeah, you'll be on the
You
snow
can make
globe
it
for
into
12 hours.
anything.
Well, what would I wear
You're
then?
gonna be naked in the snow globe for 12 hours.
You
Yeah,
don't
you-
have any other clothes? Wear your clothes.
you can put on Erie's clothes.
My clothes are very stretchy.
Yeah, it would just be like a really tight romper.
Yeah, Pippin is all for this.
You and Pippin can keep warm by Vitril's fire.
I just layer my boxers with a wyvern.
Oh,
Okay.
I don't mind doing this while you go into town. And just be careful with it. It's very, very special and very magical.
I'd be like, okay, and then I just take it.
he's
I
still
love it.
wearing it.
Yeah, hold on a moment
Oh.
here, and I'm
He's
gonna.
just taking off his shirt.
Yeah, I'm taking. Okay, I'll take, Fendril, move Fendril aside, take it off, and then I will.
Fendrill's actually just still, he's like crawling around. Fendrill's awake right now.
Okay,
He's just been like having a good time sniffing.
I'll go back into my bag that I have, and I'm going to pull out my old clothes that I used to have, and I'm going to wear those instead.
Okay.
All right. Be careful with
Right.
those, Erie.
I'll be careful. And then
Okay,
I go
so-
behind a tree and I take off my stuff. I put his stuff on. I bring his back. I mean, I
And
bring
then-
my clothes back to him.
So you can do a twirl and change your outfit.
Yeah. For now, I'm just gonna like twirl, and I'm gonna become like the colors of the forest.
Oh,
Ooh.
just like she's in like
Browns and
military
greens.
camouflage.
Yeah, essentially, yes.
I love it. I imagine
Those
with
clothes
the bull
are
helmet.
actually would be really good for you, Erie, because you can change your physical appearance and your outfits.
I know. I wish that I had been gifted these.
Well, you don't, so be careful with them. Carry on.
Would you guys like to do anything else before you progress on the rest of your 2.5-day journey?
I want to turn and be like, it feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all. But no, I'm just gonna,
Erie's-
I don't know, looking for food, and I'll
Yeah,
The
I guess
classic
we'll-
travel stuff.
yeah,
Nothing.
I'll back and
Everything's.
like practice my transformation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
over the next few
getting
days.
used to talking like a dwarf.
I'll
Yeah,
have-
I'll walk behind Knack and like mimic his walk, and then when he looks, I'll be like,
Yeah.
I'll have
So you
Pippin.
perfectly mimic their voice and body, but not their like mannerisms.
yeah. So I'm practicing that. I'm like trailing Knack and trying to mimic him without him noticing.
That's cool.
I'll have Pippin try to help me attune to this snow globe.
All right, and I will help you do that as we make our way to the city.
Are you doing anything special over the next 2.5 days?
Well, I'm gonna pray to my goddess, and you know what? I'll summon out Vigilance again.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
I'll
and
want
Vigilance.
him too.
So you summon Vigilance.
Yes.
So he does struggle to make it through the woods. They're quite thick, and he is a larger horse as well. He's not a typical like hunting horse, that would be brought into a forest for this kind of thing. But he can follow your pace. You guys aren't moving incredibly quick either. So it's nice, and he feels. You can tell. You notice, Gray, with the mental connection, that every time Lonan like turns toward he kind of feels really cold towards the rest of the party right now. Almost like he heard what they were saying about him.
Said nothing.
Feel you.
mean.
I feel you.
But he is obviously very warm and nice towards you. A nice
Can I
connection.
feed him one of the apples?
He will take it just with the tip of his teeth and pull back and turn his head and then eat it before looking back at you.
Okay.
But clearly accepts it. And then is there anything you would like to be doing, Nak, over the couple days?
Yes, I will be sending messages back and forth.
Okay. Do you want to do... How many more messages do you think you want to do?
So, I mean, assuming that there's no other need for me to be casting any like level 3 spells, I'll be using like 3 a day, unless of course there just seems to be like no further information I can get. In which case, I would just kind of use like 1 just to check in.
Okay, sweet. So we will that'll be, we can solve that after, and you can have that information for next stream. But for now, you can just roll your 2 more survival checks for me really quick to see how well you make it out of the forest.
Sure.
Oh, all of us?
No, just Nak. Nak is
Oh.
leading. Yep, with a 13 and a 17, especially with Lonan's like knowledge of the area and where you guys should be heading vaguely, you managed to make it through in good time. And towards the middle of the 3rd day of your travel, you see, you notice that the woods around you are starting to get very, very sparse. And if you listen closely, you can actually begin the sound of the forest is leading way up to like the sound of water rushing against the coastline. And you can assume that that is the Florinus Strait coming up closely to your south. As you guys approach New Dahlia, it is going to be around noon on that day. The woods are sparser, but they're still heavy enough that you can very like confidently say that people aren't going to necessarily see you as you're approaching, unless they are very like diligently watching the forest line. Everybody roll a perception check for me as you guys approach. And are you guys approaching directly down from the top of the woods? Are you coming along the coastline? Where do you guys want to be coming from?
Knack?
I mean, Nak would probably take the most direct path there, so whatever one that would be.
It would be closer to the coastline then, just because you came. You would have been doing a straight diagonal to come from the top of the city. You would have had to take a little detour and take around to do that. So you're coming along the coast. It's still wooded here. You're not like out in the open, but you are able to see the coastline by the time this is happening. We just need Lonan to roll.
Yep, I did.
No, sorry.
17.
Gray to roll.
Okie dokie.
I rolled a natural 1.
Yep.
Oof.
Basically, me and Erie got good.
Yeah, literally, it's Erie and Lonan. You guys are the 2 to notice this. That as you guys are approaching the city, and Lonan, I'm glad you rolled high because this is very jarring to you. Approaching from the coast, you're able to see the docks come into view. And despite Erie, what Lonan had been describing previously, the docks of New Dahlia are absolutely packed with boats of all different sizes, ranging from full barges to like fleets of merchant ships to small dinghies, all tied to the docks and overflowing onto the fault of the coastline, dragged up onto shore. And you can see around the tall city walls of New Dahlia, the way New Dahlia looks upon approaching, it almost looks like a cake with different tiers, all topped with a very grand-looking ivory palace atop
Cool.
these layered walls. You can see that pouring all around the city appears to be tents of sorts, all propped up for like almost a kilometer out from the city in a wide berth, almost like engulfing it in a sea of tents. And you are the 2 who see this.
Is
Right
this
off the bat,
some sort of festival going on or something? I'm thinking back.
This is very odd. You've never seen anything like this before.
I can't remember if it can't be. I mean,
Refugees.
I can't.
bet it's refugees.
It's busy. This could work in our favor, I suppose, but depends.
Perhaps it'd be easy for you to fit in with the crowd if there's plenty of people around.
And with this site of New Dahlia swarmed by people in these tents, this very unusual site, that is where we're going to be ending tonight's session of All Fun and Dice, episode 37.
Yeah.
Yay! Good job, everybody. Fun session.
Yay.
Lots
Yay.
of information learned and
We made it
shared.
down the woods and through the trees.
We're
Yes.
finally ground level. So good.
Finally, ground level. You guys aren't at risk of falling off a ship and dying anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about my microphone. Apparently, Chad was saying that there's something with my OBS that, like, I mean, it sounds awesome sounds fine in Discord,
Yeah.
but apparently on which side of things they're saying that it sounds like crackly or something. So.
Fine, my camera just turns off every 20 minutes.
You know what? Growing pains of being online. Thank you guys all for being here for it and for enjoying the new the what we're coming out with. We're gonna be back next week for episode 38 before our break for Christmas. But I'm super excited.
We were
for-
thinking about another cool thing this year, where we were kind of thinking potentially of being here during New Year's again, with you guys, if kind of doing
Maybe
a cool
New Year's
episode.
Day.
Yeah.
New Year's Day, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Still very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys all for being here. I know there are at least a couple new people here today. If you have not watched the stream previously, you can catch up on all the episodes on All Fun and Games at YouTube. All the episodes are up, including a recap all the way up to episode 27, in case you just want to jump there and start from there. You can also just follow the stream and catch us every Friday. We start at 7. Very exciting.
Yep.
Don't forget to. This is awkward, stilted. Trying to remember if we need anything else. We don't.
No.
So we'll see you guys next week, and don't forget to
Stick around.
Stick around.